She said she's not looking for a ring or anything classy. All she needs is for someone to care to ask her to go steady. She's so ready for that leather jacket. She will hack it with internet manipulations and a variety pack of stipulations. She said, don't try to deny it. You clearly faked it. I'm pregnant, maybe. It's not a fiver, babe. It's not a fiver, babe. It's not a fiver, baby.
Never saw this. What are we seeing here? What's this? HEVN? Is this a... Are you seeing this? I'm literally... I can't unsee it. What the hell is that?
Some babies, but there's some ladies from a blog. I'm not some slob. I'm on the job.
It says Fiverr.
Oh no! Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. This is why you do it live. This...
Some slop, I'm on the job. Truth deep diver. She hired Fiverr. 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 She hired Fiverr.
That's it. That's what it is. That's it. That's what it is. That's it. That's what it is.
No, I mean, Meg, what? Unbelievable that we just figured this out.
All right. Welcome back. I was going to do the extra long version today. I was going to play Tramp Stamp Lawyer after that. But since today is David Gingras Day here on the program, you have found the Megan Fox Show. Megan Fox Investigates, and today it's all about our favorite attorney, David Gingras. Please share the stream, like it, subscribe, do all the things. I will probably play Tramp Stamp Lawyer at the end of this because, I forgot to upload it to Streamyard. So now I have to go and look for it and download it and then upload it again. It's a whole thing, Brad. Okay. I enlisted Brad's help for today's bingo card because we are going to read through David Gingras' 32-page whatever the hell. But there's a motion to vacate. Hopefully we won't have, I'm going to speed read through it. And then we have his tweets to get to, which are, oh my God, they're off the rails. They're off the rails, you guys. The man is off the rails. And this is going to be all about him. So.
I already did a readout. I did it last night.
Card. What?
Someone in the chat said, are you going to do a readout? And it's like, well, I already did the readout. It was last night. Which if you didn't join, shame on you.
Oh, good. So we can just skip through a bunch of it since Brad's already read the entire thing. Fetal Attraction Bingo today. These are your options. It is pinned to the top of the chat. If you are in the Rumble ghetto, let me help you by putting the link somewhere. Where's the Rumble chat? Rumble chat, where are you?
Rumble ghetto.
Why is the Rumble chat not popping up for me? Here it is. Bingo card right here. All right, let's read through the options, shall we? This is what you're going to be on the lookout for today as we go through. European Vacation, Judgment Proof, Unhinged Conspiracies, Juvenile Dick Jokes, Judge Mada's Father, Closed on Sundays, Grandpa Duty, County Attorney, Mary Lincoln's Martini Hour, Misleading the Court, Order of Harassment, Uncreditable, which is in the middle square, which is funny because it should be the free square. I say we just get that right now because that's the free square. And that just ended up there for me. Dave Neal, she thought she was pregnant. No evidence, even if. Reasonable suspicion, bad grammar. Megan Fox in sarcastic quotation marks. Lost sonogram. Suing the county. Minor perjury, typos, and bad legal arguments. Get your bingo card now. Play along. because this is going to be fun. All right. No notification, says Nancy McLean. Well, are you following me on Locals? meganfox.locals.com, because that's where the notifications are. Brad, did you send that out?
Yes, I did.
You're awesome. Thank you for being such a great team member over there on
MG
Locals.
says, would the real Megan Fox please stand up?
You know, I had a really bad nighttime experience last night. I'm calling it a nighttime experience because I'm not sure if it was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a little worried that David Gingras may have been practicing remote viewing on me. Do you know what this is? Do you know what remote viewing is?
I don't, but I have a vague idea.
Well, if you've seen Stranger Things,
I
this
bet.
is something that the CIA, it's actually in CIA documents that they claim that they do, that they use people, psychics, whatever, to train operatives how to remote view, which means to like basically meditate on a certain person until you can be in the room with them and you can see what they're doing.
Okay.
And this is a thing that the CIA has worked on. And there's documents about this. I mean, this is apparently a real thing. I think that I may have felt the presence, the very, very evil presence.
The essence.
The essence of David Gingras. And if I find out that he's a smoker, I'm really going to get freaked out. Okay, because this is what happened to me. Yeah, astroplaning. Thank you. So I was laying in bed. I was laying on my right side, facing my husband and the window. And behind me is like another one of these things like this, because my husband's office is on the other side of it, his home office. So I'm kind of like, I have like this little alley between me and getting out of the room or whatever. And I'm yes, Ellie, it felt like Satan was in the room. Yes, let me explain. I'm laying on my right side and I'm listening to Lauren, falling asleep listening to Lauren. Now, that's like the least scary thing you could be listening to is Lauren Knighty, right? Like, she's not scary in any way. She's not talking about anything scary. She's talking about, she was going over Greg Gillespie text.
The documents that got dumped last night.
Yeah. Astral projection. Right. And I don't think I had fallen asleep yet, or I was just about to fall. Like, I was just
in that twilight
falling asleep thing. And I felt the darkest, scariest thing behind me, between me and the in that little alleyway. And what was worse was that I smelled lots of stale cigarettes. Now, nobody in my house smokes. There are no cigarettes anywhere in this house. There's no cigarettes, but I smelled so strongly the odor of stale cigarettes. Somebody needs to find out for me if this man is a smoker.
Are we talking like bingo hall stale smoke, or?
Oh, it was like on a person. You know how like when you get near a person who's been smoking lots of cigarettes, and it's really strong. It was like that, and it was coming from behind me.
They're wearing the burgundy jacket that they've had for 40 years and haven't taken it to the dry cleaner.
Yes, like that. And then I was frozen like demon paralysis, like it was like a paralysis demon because I couldn't move and I was trying to get up. I was trying to move and I woke myself up screaming. I managed to get a sound out and then I started screaming. That was awful.
I'm sure Mr. Fox enjoyed that.
He didn't wake up.
What?
He didn't wake up. No, he didn't wake up. I think in my mind, my scream was louder. And in reality, it was probably like this. Expelliarmus. I know. I should keep my wand next to my bed.
Right.
The one that I got at Universal. Maybe I am going to take the holy water though later. And in fact, wait. So I have this handy dandy little thing. Was given to me by one of my favorite priests who went back to Ghana. This is deliverance prayers for the laity, and there's all sorts of fantastic prayers in here to get rid of nasty spirits or remote viewers, possibly in your bedroom at night. So I may have to walk around with the holy water and do that later. But holy crap, sage. I need all the sage. I actually have a sage. I make my own sage burning things because I have lots of sage plants. So I know I should burn some in the room. My God. It was not good.
The funny thing is, it reminds me of in Clayton's interview with Reality Steve, he mentions when he was trying to break it up with Laura, that her face just dropped, and he said that he felt like this demon's stare back at him, and because that came out like yesterday or the day before, it was very interesting that you mentioned that.
Oh no, it was John Crook from jail.
Now that I imagine he smokes and would have that kind of
True. But I can't imagine that he's advanced enough to be able to remote view. Mary Lincoln says, put on your spiritual armor. Yeah, I'm going to, for the love of traveling Mary. Who said that? You guys, it was spooky. It was terrible. It was a terrible feeling. And then I was scared to go back to sleep because I was scared that I was on the precipice of a nightmare. You know, you ever feel that way? Like you have to cleanse the brain before you can go back to sleep. Like think about something else. So I put on some music, I think. But I was awake for a while after that because it was freaking me out. It freaked me out.
Didn't you say you rewatched the Trump speech? Because you were up at like 3 a.m. rewatching that.
Yeah, I started re-listening to that. And you know what? I fell asleep and slept like a baby. That's all I needed. That's all I needed was to listen to Trump again. That's all I needed. And then I slept like a baby. Yep, I did. I watched it. You know what's funny? I had a different reaction the second time around. So,
interesting.
You know, we were laughing really hard when he was telling the retelling of it because he was doing his best Trump impression. It was the best blood. It was the most blood anybody's ever seen. It was a tremendous amount of blood. So much blood. Doctors said they've never seen that kind of blood. They've never seen that much blood ever before in the history of anything ever. And we were laughing at that because it was hilarious. I mean,
yeah.
and I felt giddy about it because I was dying laughing. But the second time around, it was not as funny. It was not. The second time around, I was like, holy shit, this is a terrifying story. And yeah, it was good.
Did you see the video that someone got of the bullet actually impacting his ear?
No. Where is that?
Twitter. I'll have to find it.
Find it. I would like to see that. Since when does a Trump speech put you to sleep? Well, it just cleansed my aura, I guess. I don't know. It had a cleansing effect and I was able to sleep.
All right. So the first one, Hay Bales received a notification that David Gingras is now subscribed to the All About Laura Substack.
This is hilarious. Can you see it yet? No, I didn't put it up on the screen. Okay. Hey, Bales. Our team has been working hard on our deep dives. It's finally being recognized by Laura and her lawyer. Thanks for the sub. All the best. Wait, where's my button? Where's my button? Where did it go? Oh, that was the wrong one, but that's okay. I was looking for this one.
All the best.
Okay, so now we have new subscriber, a free subscriber though. He's not paying. It's David at gingraslaw.com. Well. I think it's funny that at some point she said, I think we're waiting on our cease and desist. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. It's going to be funny. All right. And then the second one is this.
That's the ear.
This right here. Let me see. Wait, I got to put this somewhere else. This is too small over here. Let me put it over here so I can see it. Holy God. What? Is that real or did someone mess with this?
No,
hold on.
Real.
Let me share it. I don't know how we know anything is real these days, though.
It looks like you got gauges. That's how it.
You see something that said, take a look what happened. Take a look what happened.
Chécate ahí.
Holy crap! That last one is unbelievable. Whoa. It looks like a hole, but it can't be a hole.
Yeah,
It
it's a
had
hole.
to have blown off this part over here too.
No, doesn't have to.
Do we know what kind of bullets these were yet?
They said it was an AR style rifle, which would believe you to believe it's a 223.
This is crazy. All right. Anyway, this was not going to be about Trump, I swear. We're
No,
doing
it's not.
we're doing Laura Owens today, so we're going back to that. If you do want to see the Trump coverage, last night's RNC speech was very funny. We were doing that last night. I've gotten great feedback on that. People enjoyed it very much. And we had a good time. We played bingo. But we're playing bingo again today. Today it's Fetal Attraction bingo. And we want to go to the tweets that he's been putting out and also the filing. What do we want to do first? The filing or the tweets? Thomas, I agree with you. It's got to be authenticated or otherwise, you can't tell what it is. Well, it'll all come out eventually. But it is fun to watch videos and stuff that people put on Twitter. What do we do first, Brad?
Do you want to go through the motion, then the page denial, then the tweets? Because that's kind of the sequence of events.
Yes. Claire Richards, as a Brit, the way you all talk about guns freak me out. It is a strange thing, I guess, for people in other countries who are not as comfortable with guns as Americans are. And so it's funny when just housewives are like, what caliber was that again? Let me see if I've got that in the safe. Let me see if I can pull one out. I actually might. I should go and see if I do. We might be able to. I'm going to ask my husband if we have the same type of caliber, and then I can show you guys what it looks like. Look, you can go into any average American's home, and you will find weapons and guns mostly, and ammunition. It's just very usual here. But also a lot of us live in rural America where having firearms is a necessity to protect your livestock, etc. I know I've had to protect mine from predators, etc. Every single kid in the country where I live goes hunting, like every single one of them. It's a big hunting culture here. The kids go out in deer season, and it kind of, Melanie says, it freaks me out that the Brits don't have pew-pews.
Right.
It's hard to imagine for us. It's hard to imagine the other way around,
In World War II, we had to ship over a bunch of rifles because nobody had them in Britain.
Imogen Williams wants to know, I'm very confused. Why do you need a whore? I will wait for your reply. If you missed it, if you want to know where the horror jokes are coming from, you got to tune into last night's RNC coverage. All right. Here we go. Pulling up the filing that Brad so kindly sent me that I have not even read yet. Oh,
Come on, Megan.
At 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be done here before 2 for sure. I will be headed over to Omar Serrato's channel, The Tilted Lawyer. He is doing a stream today. It's about Donald Trump's speech, and he wanted to talk to me about it. So I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to talk to anybody who wants to talk to me about, the state of things. And so I'll be going over there to do that with him. All right, here we go. Whoever said most people I know don't have any guns, you don't know that. They just don't tell you about it. Most people don't tell you how many or if they have any.
Boating accident.
Yes, I lost all of mine in a boating accident a long time ago. We only have pellet guns left. Maricopa County Superior Court, State of Arizona, motion to vacate judgment, motion for new trial, alternatively motion to alter, amend judgment, motions for leave to exceed page limits. That's my favorite part. Leave to exceed page limits. Damn it. I don't have anything on the card for too many words. Shit. What do I have? I'm checking it. All right. I don't have too many words, and I should have had that.
But apparently you're restricted to 17 pages, and he even mentions that this motion could have been 100 pages from all of the errors in the judgment, but we're going to try and keep it brief.
Oh, God. Pursuant to Rules 83, 85, Rules of Family Law Procedure, Petitioner Laura Owens moves for an order vacating the judgment entered in this matter on June 17th. In addition, Laura further seeks a new trial pursuant to 83B, as well as other relief stated herein. As the docket in this case reflects, on July 8th, 2024, Laura filed a notice of change of judge for cause. As of the date of this instant motion, that notice remains pending per Family Law Rule 6.1D4. Oh, and by the way, we haven't seen the ruling by the judge pop up on the docket yet, by the chief judge on that motion. It's still not there.
I'm frequently refreshing.
Good. Although this matter currently remains assigned to the notice judge, Honorable Julie A. Mata, if the matter is reassigned, the present motion will be decided by a new judge who is not familiar with the extremely complicated procedural and factual history of the case. How did I miss putting extremely complicated on the bingo card? I am not good at this. Howdy, Dave. Hey, Dave, if you're not busy and you want to jump in here, I'll send you a link if you want to read through this with us and play bingo. I just have to find my email. Oh, no. You know what, Dave? I'll send it to you on Twitter because I already have that open and that's easier for me to do. So see your Twitter, Dave, if you are not busy. Is this new info? No, this is the motion that I never read for Gingras's like ridiculous motion, the motion to vacate. But I also am going to go over his tweets later as well. Yeah. Okay. I'll be here for a while, Dave. So if you're busy now and you want to pop in later, you're welcome to be here. I've missed you. So, and everyone thinks we're fighting and we're not fighting. I love Dave. Dave loves me. Everybody's good. Okay. Per family law rule, I already did that. At the same time, while this matter is temporarily on hold due to the notice of change of judge, the 25-day time limit to bring a motion under Rule 83C1 continues to run. That deadline, which expires on July 13th, making the last day July 15th, also necessarily controls Laura's time to appeal, and it may not be extended by stipulation. Here's his copy-paste job. That's not so good. You can see the highlighting. May not be extended by stipulation. Hold on. I lost my bingo card. There it is. Or court order. Accordingly, although she would prefer not to do so until the issue of disqualification is resolved, Laura has no choice but to bring the instant motion. Oh, Laura has a choice. She can choose to stop all of this. Has no choice.
We want to invite MG.
Yeah. If he's not working, he usually works in the... Yeah, Dave, everyone thinks we're fighting. I got so many messages. Like, what's wrong with Dave? Why is he mad at you? What's going on? I'm like, Dave's not mad at me. Calm down. Yeah, Dave says, your hair looks nice today. Did you buy a convertible and go for a nice summer drive?
I didn't know the mom van could go convertible.
Dave goes, I came in hot the other day. I know, but it's the hat. It does that to people. It's okay. It's all right. I have put the hat away. The hat won't be here. So Dave will be okay when he gets here. It's all right. MG says he's at the office, but he can join. Well, great. Send him the link.
I did.
All right. Factual history. Oh, God. Again? Do we have to go through a factual history of this case?
You can skip past it. It's...
All right, let's skip past it. We really don't need to this. But wait, we might have some bingos in here. These pleadings generally explain the story. Despite appearances, most, but certainly not all of the material facts were undisputed. In short, Laura claimed that she had a one-night sexual encounter with respondent Clayton Echard on May 20th. Laura claims sexual intercourse occurred. No, she claims that she was ARPed. While Clayton claims only oral sex and genital to genital grinding or rubbing, never write that again. Took place. Please never, ever.
This will get awkward.
Never write that again. Laura claims she tested positive for pregnancy on May 31st and on multiple other occasions, including Banner urgent care. After the parties, blah, blah, blah. Pro se petition. Clayton filed pro se answer. Yes. Denied having sex. Yes. Made up by Laura. Clayton claimed Laura was never actually pregnant. Laura claims she and Clayton agreed to submit samples for DNA testing through a company called Ravgen after some initial delay testing. Oh, because it's funny how he doesn't put in here after initial delay because my client insisted that Clayton sign a dating contract before she would do the testing. It's convenient.
And canceling
Angie.
the Clayton's test now that he talked about it on Reality Steve's interview.
I still haven't seen that. I need to watch that.
It's good. The first half hour is Laura stuff.
Oh, the Ravgen story is insane. Well, will somebody send me a timestamp on that, and maybe while we can take a break while reading this and watch it, the just the Ravgen story part, that would be great.
I'll get
Somebody
it.
could tell me. Thank you, Brad. Laura claims she had a blood test done at a lab on October 16th, which showed an HCG level of 102, confirming yet again she was pregnant, as explained by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. HCG is a hormone produced by your placenta when you are pregnant, ... Who thinks that there may have been something there left out that's germane to the case?
It's not
as in,
just when you're pregnant.
Yeah, right. As in when you are pregnant, or when you have certain cancers, or if you're taking medication that will screw the result. So you know what, guys? We have a bingo to check off, and that would be misleading the court. Who's got misleading the court? Okay, make sure you check off misleading the court. You produce this hormone only when you are pregnant. Oh, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Last access, blah, blah, blah. However, at this point in her pregnancy, Laura's HCG level of 102 was extremely low. This showed the pregnancy was likely non-viable, meaning it would probably end in miscarriage. About a month later, on November 14th, Laura was seen at an OBGYN facility called Mom Doc, where it confirmed she was no longer pregnant. I wish I had more than one misleading the court box because she self-reported that she was no longer pregnant. Nobody ever confirmed she was pregnant or was no longer pregnant due to miscarriage, just that she was not pregnant. Just here's a woman who is not pregnant. After learning the pregnancy had failed, Laura filed nothing further in this case. She took no actions to keep the litigation active. As a result, on December 4th, court administration issued a notice placing this matter on the inactive calendar, scheduling matter for dismissal on February 2. Shortly before the case was due to be dismissed for inactivity, Clayton retained counsel, Greg Woodnick, who appeared in this matter for the first time on December 12th. Mr. Woodnick immediately filed several pleadings, including a motion to amend Clayton's answer, filed December 12th, and a motion for Rule 26 sanctions. Yeah. I should have put motion to compel lunch in here. This?
Yes.
When Jill M's, thanks to the super chat, says, what do lawyers use for birth control? Their personalities.
Poor MG.
Yeah, I resemble that remark.
Oh my God. No, but you have several children. So.
Yeah.
All right. Wait. Let's take
as far as we know.
Are we exhausted yet by this, or should we keep going before I play the clip of the Ravgen? Let's play it now. I want to play it now. Also, because I have a lot of windows to close out, I need to do that before I start having computer problems.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Wrapping that up, and I said, I'll take the paternity test. Like, I want to take it because I was the first one to bring it up. I'm like, let's do this. And then magically we went from one kid to twins, and she's like, oh, well, they can't do it whenever there's twins involved. So I called every single lab center possible, and I found Ravgen, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it, and no problem at all. It's like, I'm like, hey, I found somebody, and she responded back like, oh, great, I can't wait to take it. I said, all right, perfect. So I'm going to schedule it for this date. She's like, I'm only going to do it though if you date me for a week, because honestly, I know I'm pregnant with your kid. I don't have to prove anything. So if you're not going to date me, then we'll just wait until the due date, and you'll find out then. So she just kept throwing the dating card out there, and I'm like, I can't get past this. We went to she scheduled a mediation with the court. Same thing. The mediator said, what are you guys going to do to solve this? I said, I want her medical records. She's like, I'll do it if he dates me. I'm like, well, stop putting that on there. And I was like, can you just show me? And so finally we got to a point where we said, she said, I'm not showing my medical records because I don't want you to see all the other stuff that's in there. You know, it's not pertaining to pregnancy. And I said, okay, then how about we do a paternity test? And she said, sure, I'll schedule one. And the mediator's like, all right, you're going to schedule it? I said, she's not going to. I'm telling you right now. We get off the phone or, off the mediation. And she's like, yeah, I'm only going to do this if you date me. So she just threw it back out there again. And then she said, I'm going public. And then when she went public, that was her, she comes out trying to control the narrative and says, I've been trying to get this guy to take a test. He won't do it. And I'm like, no. I've been calling for this for months. So she's, as everyone saw, is manipulative. And she tried to, control the narrative by coming out saying, I've been trying to get this man to take this test. And that's why I went to social media. I said, all right, here we go. Like, it's out there. So I went straight to my stories. I said, hey, look, here you go. Proof that I scheduled this. Now she has to schedule hers. She did schedule one before that point, and then she canceled my portion. And so I never found out who canceled it specifically. I know it was her, someone related to her, but she goes, all right, I'm going to schedule it. And I said, perfect. And so she scheduled it. I scheduled my part. And then I called the day before to confirm. And as I'm calling, I get an email from her, and she's like, I saw you canceled. And I'm on the phone with them. And I'm like, oh, no. I know. So I call them, and I go, hey, I want to confirm that my test is tomorrow. They said, no, you canceled it. I said, I did not cancel it. And they go, well, yeah, no, it was canceled. Somebody called in on your behalf from a clinic it was like in the LA area. And I said, I didn't call.
From a clinic? Someone called in from a clinic? That's so bizarre. This is a good freeze frame on his face. Look how upset he is. Poor guy.
Oh, I said, who called? And they go, and so they gave me a transcript, and like they gave me the name, or not the name, like somebody that called in. So I have the name of the person that like called in on my behalf. It was someone from a clinic, and they said that person apparently got a call from somebody else, but they didn't know who it was. But they said, yeah, I'm canceling on his behalf. So she tried to get me on that. So that's why I called right away, and then I got Ravgen to schedule it on my behalf. So she was already setting that up, and then she goes out public and says he just canceled, and that's why I was like, no. I'm scheduling this on my account now because you canceled this on me. So she was, again, like setting it all up. And I realized I had to play, 4-dimensional chess with her. I was like, I have to be 2 steps ahead of her because she's game planning to make me look like I'm the one that's being dodgy.
And it's one of the things that I've brought up a lot when I've talked about this case is, people can say, oh, she's crazy and she's doing all this stuff. But the constant, this is a woman that, after your hookup the night of May 20th, you told in a car, sitting with her in a car the very next day, like, hey, I crossed the professional line there. Shouldn't have happened. I don't think there's any future between us. This was one day, May 21st, right? The very next day.
Yep.
And then it's just like, why? And I've said this from the beginning. Why couldn't her answer have been, some guy, got a blowjob from me and now wants to dump me. That sucks. And just move on with your life. Like, it happens. Guys ghost girls all the time. And you didn't even technically ghost her. You told her to her face, like, look, I shouldn't have crossed that line. This is what, I know it happened last night. But I don't think there's any sort of future between us. And then here you are dealing with it 13 months later. It's baffling to me that this woman has obviously some sort of issue with men saying no to her, because
with anybody
you said it
saying,
the next day.
With anybody saying no to her, what about the contractor or the, it has, and not, I don't really think it has anything to do with the romance. I think that's part of it. But if you say no to her in any capacity, she won't take it. She is full on Karen. I'm going to talk to your manager. Right, 0 to 60, man. She just can't hear no at all.
It's the entitlement.
Yes, very entitled. I just heard
somebody
Brad,
beeped in, but
yeah,
then no one was there. Yeah,
but no one was there. I heard it. Dave, are you trying to get in? Because I heard someone enter the green room, but there's nobody there. That was strange. Oh my God, it's my paralysis demon. Get thee behind me, Satan. We have a ghost in the green room.
Hey, and never made it any more clear than, hey, it's just not going to happen between us. It's fine. 2 people hook up and they don't have to date. I don't want to date you. I'm not interested. And then she just took it to this level.
Yeah. So the thing is, and this is what's scary, is she was normal until she wasn't. There was no signs whatsoever. The night that she was over at my place,
this is interesting.
She was a normal woman. I did not pick up on any signs that she had any type of screw loose. And then the next,
I did not pick up on any signs that she had any kind of screw loose. Oh, Clayton, I love you. I love you. That was funny as hell?
Day when I told her I had made a mistake, she starts crying, and that was like my first little yellow flag. I'm like, whoa, like I just met you. Why are you bawling your eyes out?
This is
and
crazy.
saying, like, please give me a chance.
It's not a yellow flag. That's a
said,
huge
no,
red
I'm
flag.
sorry. Like, I made a mistake. I'll, have you. I'll pass you over to another realtor, a coworker of mine.
Daily. Wait. I just missed
Daily
it. Where'd it go?
dysfunction.
Where did it go? Oh, Debbie Joe says, "What if any screws did she have loose?" I want to hear that in court. What if any screws did she have loose? Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny.
They'll get this done. I don't want the commission on this. Like, I'm sorry, I made the mistake, and I'm willing to forego that. Like, let's just go ahead and, and move beyond this. And she was like, no, please, I only want to work with you, and give me a chance, please. And I finally started to get agitated because I told her no about 7-8 times at that point. So I finally said, Laura, no is no. Stop asking me to date you. Like,
No
this
means
is
no.
that it's over. I made a mistake. I'm taking accountability, but stop asking me. You're being disrespectful to how I feel and my decision. And I will never forget the look she gave me. It was the darkest, just her face glossed over. And she went from crying to just straight face. And she looked at me and she goes, oh, okay, I totally get it. She said,
no.
you have a good rest of your day. Got out of the car, and I remember
That's freaking psycho.
Oh my God, that's chilling.
Keep going.
Do you remember? Wait, I will. But do you remember?
He's lucky he's not been physically harmed.
Do you remember during her Facebook, Steve called me a dumbass? Her face went from here.
Yeah.
And we watched Amber Heard do that on the stand too. I mean, this is a personality disorder kind of symptom where they can go from one extreme to the other in a blink, Scary. Okay, what's next? This is unbelievable.
I had chills. I had goosebumps. I was like, I don't know what that was, but that felt demonic. Like, it was it just washed over her. She would just completely went stone faced. And I just knew, she walked down my car and I'm like, I don't know what that was, but like, that's not the end of it.
Oh,
whatever
no.
the hell that just was. And I did not think it was.
Oh my God, maybe we need an exorcist. Maybe all of this time it wasn't a personality disorder, but perhaps we need an exorcist.
He's possessed.
Exorcise the demons.
Good Lord, that was scary. And coming off of my sleep paralysis demon experience last night, I have the chills.
That's why I said, I was like, this. You got to keep going because he says demon right there.
But she couldn't have any screws loose. She's tight. She's so tight.
There is nothing loose about her. She's the tightest there ever was. She's
gorilla
tremendously tight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting the RNC speech screwed up with this story.
It's going to be what it was, but that was the first moment where I'm like, whoa. I'm dealing with somebody dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, and then like you said, that was in May of 2023.
Okay, this is unbelievable. Where you guys, I put the link to the full interview in the chat. I may have to ask Steve if he minds if I go through this on a live sometime with you guys. I don't have time to do it today, but wow, I can't believe I haven't listened to this yet.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right, let's go back over to the. I'm so glad to see Reality Steve on YouTube, by the way. Just absolutely love that he's on YouTube, and good for him. I hope that he is doing very well. What happened to my? There it is. There we go. All right, let's
come hither, document.
Come hither, document. Accio document. Where's my wand? Accio document. There it is. All right. Mr. Woodnick, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Woodnick made these attempts without any attempt to have lunch with me. Idiot. What an idiot this guy is. He is such an idiot.
The other funny thing that people pointed out, he talks about Alexis Linval, but he completely negates anything that has to do with Corey in there. There's no mention about...
He's memory holding Corey. Is that
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that didn't sound good. That the phrasing there was a little off.
Phrasing?
Confusingly. And well, he's confused about everything. On January 25th, Judge Mata issued an order granting Laura's. Oh God, he keeps on going over this. It's been explained a million times. A million times. The judge explained this. I'm not even gonna. I'm skipping this.
It's like he didn't even listen to the status conference because she explained it there.
But I can't even with him. Yeah, he's so mad that
The status conference was before his time. You can't hold that against him.
He's so mad about lunch. He is. He's so mad about lunch.
He's gonna be paying for a lot of lunches for Woodnick
One of
here
that
soon.
breadstick.
I wonder if Laura smoked cigarettes. Maybe it was Laura. Somebody smokes a lot of cigarettes who was in my room last night. I'm just saying. Somebody. All right. The undersigned was the first retained to represent Laura on March 25th. After appearing in the case, counsel quickly discovered Mr. Woodnick filed Rule 26. Rule 26 didn't make it on the bingo card.
Nope.
Damn it! Sanctions motion was filed without giving the mandatory 10-day written warning required by providing written notice to Laura of her right to... All right, bad legal argument can be checked off right now. Bad legal argument, because we all know that she was given proper notice in another motion that was filed before this that said, hey, guess what? We're filing Rule 26 on you. And it was more than 10 days before the motion was put in.
But
Sarah, you'll have to go back to the beginning and listen to my sleep paralysis demon story.
Or it's at the top of the locals chat for today.
What's at the top of the locals chat?
Your sleep paralysis.
My sleep paralysis. Right. I did put it in the locals chat. Rule 26, blah, 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 blah.
He copy-pasted this summary from one document to the next. I looked for it and I saw it was a complete copy-paste from one to the other.
So we've already read this probably 3 times.
Yeah.
On May 20th, minute entry issued explaining the court had indeed intended to grant Clayton's request, but due to a clerical error. So here's the explanation that he refuses to accept. June 17th, Mata issued an order finding in favor of Clayton as to substantially all issues in the case and awarding attorney's fees in an amount to be determined by later application. The post-trial order also purported to find Laura lied about being pregnant in this case as well as 2 other matters, and that she may have committed perjury.
She lied?
In this case or elsewhere. The order is not entirely clear. I don't know. I thought it was very clear. Based on those findings, Judge Mata referred this matter to Maricopa County Attorney's Office. You can check that off your bingo card. Maricopa County Attorney. A county? I said a county. County Attorney. There she is.
We need a proper accounting of her perjurous statements.
Right. Sarah, again, I'm available as a bodyguard, Megan. You don't need strangers smoking in your house with sleep paralysis. I agree with you. I do not need that. No, I do not. Structural error discussion. Oh God, this is going to be riveting. I'm sorry, what? As explained in detail in the notice of change of judge filed in this matter on July 8th, clear and convincing evidence shows Judge Mata violated Laura's due process.
What evidence?
No evidence. Oh, there it is. No evidence on the bingo card. We get to check off no evidence because we all know there was no evidence of this anywhere. Just third-hand hearsay.
No, this is the addition of the fact finding to Samantha Deans. That's all this is.
Oh,
but he's still claiming she did certain things that he has no evidence of.
There's still no evidence of that. We do not know. We still do not know if Judge Mata had personal knowledge of closed on Sundays or if she misheard the testimony, because that happens too. There's a lot of facts in this case, as he keeps saying. It's extremely complicated. And is the judge not allowed to make a mistake and say she thought she heard something she didn't hear? I mean, there's a lot of different explanations that leads this to harmless error and not anything that has anything to do with, structural. Just me 2020. Absolutely not. Nobody that I know that went before me smelled like that or would have that kind of presence. My family, the presence was terrifying. It was terrifying. It was
Nauseating.
it was terrifying. I was so scared instantly terrified by whatever it was. So that couldn't have been a loved one of mine, because ain't nobody like that I know. Damn. I'm telling you, it was a remote viewer, and I want them out of my house. It was horrible. And I've never, ever, ever in my whole life dreamed a smell. Ever. That's never happened. Has that happened to any of you? Have you ever had a smell in a dream?
Probably. Not that I
But
remember off
nothing
the
that
top
you
of my head.
recall? I mean, it was so real. It was so
Maybe
there.
at the time, but I mean, it's been a while. So
Okay,
you were
couple
having a
people in the
lucid
chat
dream.
say they have
That's all.
a lucid dream. Yeah, well, no, I did not eat any shrooms last night.
Those
no.
are fun.
Yeah, BRB.
In fact, I haven't had any alcohol since the margarita event.
Oh, that was a fun stream too.
Since Megan's margaritas, I have not had another one. I was so sick the next day. Oh, God. I barely got out of bed. I hate Margarita Megan. I hate her. Everyone loves her, and I hate her.
We had fun.
Well, we had fun at the time. I did not have fun the next day. I think I poisoned myself. And also,
that
I think
sucks.
I should not be in charge of making the margaritas after I've had one, because I believe that I poured a
You make them
triple,
stronger.
possibly a quadruple, and poisoned myself. And I was like, I only had 2. Yeah, 2 drinks that were way, way too strong.
It's like what my wife would do. So like something she would do. So, just pour it out. We're feeling good. Just do some more.
One time, I have margarita stories, I tell you. One time, when Mr. Fox and I were first married, we moved in. His best friend bought a house. It was a 2-flat, and we all moved in together. So the friend lived upstairs, and we lived downstairs. And they were painting our downstairs apartment, and I was in the kitchen making margaritas for them, for all of us. We were drinking margaritas. Well, I handed them 2 margaritas in these giant mugs, like beer steins. And they drank them. And I think I had a much smaller one. I had just a little glass. And next thing you know, Mr. Fox comes wobbling into the kitchen, and he goes, what was in that? What was what's in the drinks? We can't even paint anymore. Like, we're having trouble painting. And I'm like, it's just margarita mix and tequila. He looks at the bottle and he goes, the tequila's already in the margarita mix. I bought the Jose Cuervo mix and didn't realize that I bought the one with the tequila, and then I poured extra tequila in. So these are things that I do that I shouldn't do. And it was an accident. But I'm only medium smart, so what am I supposed? What do you want from me?
Yeah, we did that with mojitos once. I can't have a mojito anymore.
Oh,
or
no.
mint julep. A mint julep either.
Well, it's a good
We did
thing
that for the Derby. We made mint juleps for the Derby once to watch it, and I got sick. I can't have a mint julep anymore.
Oh no, Megan's Mickey's. Yeah, it's a good thing that he caught it, because if they drank another one, I mean, they probably would have been passed out on the floor. Lisa says it was a great time when you went live with yourself ×2. Drunk Megan and sober Megan are funny when they make fun of each other. All right. Okay. Structural error decisions. All right. This is so boring. Worse, Judge Mata not only reviewed social media posts about this case, he has no idea if she did that. And he's claiming she conducted secret, undisclosed investigation into the facts of this matter with absolutely no evidence that she did it. I'm looking for... Oh, yeah, here we go. Unhinged conspiracies. Here's the unhinged conspiracy part of the filing. Please check that off your bingo card. Worse, Judge Mata had not only reviewed social media posts about this case, she literally made at least one key factual finding or more based on those posts and not on the evidence admitted at trial. Yeah, again, he doesn't know that. He has no idea how that got into the order. Yeah, Jess Me says, family court judge could very well have personal knowledge of Planned Parenthood interworkings to include business hours due to prior cases. Not that serious, Gingras. Move
And
on.
being in Phoenix, you probably have a lot of people who have come from LA.
Oh yeah, it's only
so
a 5-hour drive. There's tons of people who go back and forth. The consequences of this are both simple and clear. Laura is entitled to an order vacating judgment in its entirety, and she is entitled to a new trial before a different judge. If we hadn't already checked off bad legal arguments, I would have you do it again. This is a bad legal. She's not entitled to a new trial over this one tiny thing, over harmless error. Nobody is entitled to a new trial over harmless error. And then he's citing his rules that he thinks that he has misread. Oh wait, I may have misread law. I think I changed it to bad legal argument. All right. When grounds exist to do so, Rule 83B provides the court may vacate the judgment if one has been entered, take additional testimony, amend.
When grounds exist being the operative phrase.
Yeah, when grounds exist. Amend findings of fact and conclusions of law or make new ones and direct the entry of a new judgment. All right, here, you don't have a bingo card? Robert, go to the top of the chat. I have pinned the bingo to the top of the chat. Here, multiple grounds exist for relief under Rule 83. However, he copied and pasted all of this too. Because the improper conduct of the trial judge deprived Laura of her most basic right to fundamental fairness, it is not necessary to consider any issues but one, the independent investigation into the facts undertaken by the trial judge, Julie Mata. So this is interesting. He has narrowed it down to just one reason. He has not talked about her father at all, has he? And he's deciding to leave that out. MG, don't you find that interesting?
Yeah. Well, I mean, does he not? Maybe he talks about him later.
Well, maybe. I haven't gone through all this. I think
I can't remember. I've read through it.
Brad told me that he didn't, though. Rogue Mama says, I think someone may have a Megan voodoo doll. They better not. Damn it. Listen, I'm getting the holy water out later. Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Yeah.
I've got it under control. I am going to be cleaning my room out of all nasty, evil spirits. Don't worry about it. I said I've got my deliverance prayers for the laity right here on my desk. And I'm gonna move my crucifix over my bed too. All right. I'm not kidding. That was this terrifying experience. Hate it. A judge mod is undisclosed independent investigation into the facts with structural error requiring automatic reversal of the judgment and a new trial before a new judge. Before addressing other issues pursuant to Family Law Rules 83, Laura moves for an order that the judgment be vacated in its entirety and a new trial ordered before a different judge on the basis of misconduct committed by the trial judge. Specifically, as explained below and in the notice of change for judge for cause filed concurrently herewith, which is incorporate. Oh my God, too many words. There was a clear and convincing evidence. No, there isn't. Judge shall not investigate facts, blah, blah, blah. We've already read all of this in other motions. Here, irrefutably, evidence demonstrates Judge Mata violated rule, internet search, blah, 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 wine.
That's about what I did. I was like, oh, we read this.
Legal standard. Few legal rules are clearer than this. That's debatable. It's actually not that clear because there's a Second Circuit ruling about finding things of common knowledge on Google, which is totally fine. Hold on. We have a text. Oops. Okay. All right. That's fine. Hey, does anybody know? Actually, no, I don't want to talk about that meme right now. We'll do it in a minute, later. Parties' right to a fundamentally fair trial is critically important because it preserves both the appearance and reality of fairness, generating the feeling so important to a popular government that justice has been done. Fundamental fairness in the context of due process has many different facets, but the key to one is this. All litigants in all courts are entitled to have their cases heard and decided by a judge who is fair, neutral, unbiased, impartial, blah, 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 to maintain public trust, blah, 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 impartiality. Yeah, we get it. But none of us think she was not impartial or unfair. People think she was totally fair. Nobody else sees what Gingras sees. Although Arizona case law on this exact issue is sparse because instances of judicial misconduct in the state are thankfully rare. The United States Supreme Court has repeatedly agreed that due process clause requires trial judges to be fair. How many times is he going to say it? How many times?
He's saying it's sparse, which tells me there is at least some case law out there. He didn't say that it's non-existent, that there are no cases.
Right.
Which would mean he would say, this is a case of first impression. So there's something out there.
And that he failed to quote.
That he's not. Why. He said, he's not citing. Sparse. Yeah. He's not saying it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. More standards, more rules. Presumably due to the high ethical standards of most Arizona jurists, comparable instances of a judge conducting an undisclosed investigation of the oh my God, enough already. He's made the argument. He's made the argument to be sufficient. He does not need to go on with this. But he's saying that it's structural error requiring automatic reversal. A bunch of lawyers disagree with that. Most lawyers I've talked to think that if it's an error, it's a harmless error, which is absolutely not a structural error.
Yeah, I mean, whether they're open or not doesn't matter because Planned Parenthood said it's not their ultrasound.
Right.
So
right. Whether they're open or not doesn't matter because Planned Parenthood is on the record under oath saying it's not ours. She didn't get it here. She couldn't have gotten it here. Thus, if a judge, especially on the bench, undertakes a personal investigation, we're still on this? We're still on this. We are on page 9. 9 pages. 9?
Yeah.
9 times. This guy.
We just haven't seen Rule 26 yet.
No, we
probably
did.
Was in the background facts, but.
We did. We saw Rule 26. Yeah. Okay, I can't even with this. These are too many words. And we are still on the same. We know your argument. I don't need to see any more of this. More structural error? I thought that's what the last page was. Oh, God. Oh. Okay. On page 10 of the judgment, Judge Mata made the following finding of fact, which was purportedly based on testimony from Clayton's medical expert, Dr. Samantha Deans. She, Dr. Deans, testified that Planned Parenthood does not accept anonymous patients. They do not accept patients using an alias. So it doesn't matter whether they're open or closed on Sunday.
Yeah.
She further testified that Planned Parenthood is not open on Sundays. When petitioner testified she saw care July 2. No, it doesn't matter. That does not matter. He says this proves that she committed structural error by performing a secret, undisclosed ex parte investigation into the facts. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. Sunday appears nowhere in the transcript. Oh, wait, closed on Sundays is on the bingo card. Check it off. Closed on Sundays. We have reached the closed on Sundays portion.
And just because it wasn't in the transcript from the hearing doesn't mean it's not in the record somewhere else.
Right. And it's a very large record. Very large record. All right. We all need a palate cleanser right now because I am like so sick of Gingras right now. I'm so sick of him. We're never going to get through this. I'm probably going to have to.
It took a while.
Oh my God. I'm not going to get through this whole thing because I don't want to. It's all it is a rehashing of the same shit, different day. Same shit, different day, this guy. Yeah. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go get another cup of coffee because I'm out. And
do some squats.
In the meantime, we are going to play some more. No, I'm actually going to put Steve's interview back on because that is fascinating.
Yes, it is.
So, and Steve will forgive me because I'm not going to play. Obviously, we're not going to go through the whole thing. It's an hour and 35 minutes. But while I'm getting coffee, you guys can watch this. Share. Here we go. because this is fascinating. It's fantastic.
You
All right,
know,
I'll
you
be right
finally
back.
got a judgment decision on June 18th of 2024. 13 months of this stuff that you basically had to deal with. And so, like I said, we're not going to go over all the details of the case. I think a lot of people know them, but the basics of it were that, like, she just kept continuing with these lies and, hey, I'm going to take this and do this. And for the longest time, basically from May, since the night of the hookup until October, in your first hearing that ended up being on Zoom, you were repping yourself. And when you did that, I mean, maybe you just didn't think about it when you did that and you were repping yourself and you had that Zoom case and it happens, it's over and done with, and you find out you didn't even, that's the funny part, you didn't even know you guys were on Zoom that day. Dave was the one that texted you right after you got out of the court and he said, "Hey, good job, man." And you're like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "We just watched. We all watched it." I sat there and watched it and I'm like, he doesn't have any representation. And that's where, Dave raised the GoFundMe for you. But when you went to that case, did you think it was over then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. I mean, so I just bought a house, and I was at a place where I'm like, I'm not hiring a lawyer. I knew the rates, and I'm like, I'm going to blow $5,000 a week. Like, there's no way. I don't have the money for it. I just spent everything I had. So I'm like sitting here, I'm thinking, I go, well, you're the one who's innocent. It's really simple. You're going to go into this case. I'm going to get my injunction against harassment against her to stop her from talking to me, and that'll be it. And then her order of protection that she filed in response, I was like, I'll get that removed because she can't prove that I harassed her. And so I'll have that removed and that'll be it. Once I cut her out, she'll just give up. That's what I thought. I was like, if she can't harass me, she'll just stop. Because that's her whole way of going about this. She just inundates
to the court.
Just message after message after message. So I genuinely thought that she would just lose interest if I got that injunction. And I walked out of the case, as you said, and Dave sent that text, and I'm like, you're kidding. But it ended up working out in my favor because then everyone saw me, and I had a previous conversation at that point with a couple lawyers, and they said, here's my rates. I said, listen, I'm not saying you're not worth it. I just can't afford that right now based off of where I'm at financially. So, but once the case aired out there, everyone's like, what is he doing? And that was when I think, Woodnick saw it and was like, this guy has no idea still what he's up against. So, I have to step in and talk with him and get him to understand it's important that he's going to lose off of medical jargon, or sorry, not medical jargon, off of legal jargon. He's going to lose off procedures. It's not a matter of right or wrong. If you don't know the procedures, you'll lose, even if you're right. So he, talked to me and talked some sense into me, and that's when I got representation.
I mean, during all this, and like you said, you're a big mental health advocate. You had to put it on the back burner through all this. You were losing gigs because of it. During all this, was there a time or a story that came out or something that she did that was just like you hit your lowest point? Do you remember at what point between May of 2023 and in June where there was an absolute low point to this?
I guess it would just have to be, when she came out initially. She came out on that date because she knew it was the first day that I was filming for this local reality pickleball TV show. So it was my first hosting gig. And, I was already nervous because I hadn't hosted before, but it was still exciting. And so she knew that was the first day. Because I think I had mentioned it to it in an email or something. So she launches that, and it's getting blown up online, and the producers and the owners of the pickleball kingdom, they're all going around. Cameras are, just they're filming, and I'm sitting there and my phone's blowing up. I'm like, I have to tell them right now. They're going to likely fire me on the spot because it's day one and they're going to find a new host. And so my phone's blown up. People are DMing me. We knew this. He sucks. He always has sucked. This tracks. And that was my lowest moment. And thankfully they gave me just enough support. I grabbed the owner. I said, I need to talk with you. He's like, okay, is this serious? I go, it's very serious. Grab everybody. And so I pull him in a room. I tell him what's going on. They said, okay, can you please step out? We need to talk about this. So I step out, and I remember I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is it. They're going to fire me. I am not going to have any speaking gigs. All of my employment opportunities are gone. I'm down to my final dollars. I spent everything on this house, and It's getting renovated right now, so it's either gonna succeed or fail. I'm like, but I have to find a new source of income. Like, I don't know where this is gonna go, and so I was just feeling super overwhelmed. And thankfully, they pulled me back in after 5 minutes. They said, "Promise that like you're telling the truth." I said, "Absolutely." They said, "Okay, we're gonna stick with you." That gave me just enough. And then like the players, the pickleball players, they all banded around me and were like, "We believe you," and they were like my family and support in that moment. If I didn't have that, I mean, I was at my lowest of low points, because the following days, it was just like all these news sources were just piling on. And they're like, involved in a scandal. And it was basically like guilty till proven innocent. I mean, that was the lowest point of it all by far. And at the time I didn't have any, I was going at it alone.
This is so
but
sad.
thankfully,
Oh my God.
Well, that's how the media operates these days.
We've never heard any of this before. Steve, what a great interview this is.
Right?
Yeah, it's so good.
I saw he had like 2 pages of notes typed up ready for him to ask the questions and whatnot.
God, it's great. I love this so much. I do want to hear some more. I'm eating toast, so we're taking an eating break.
that my
Avocado
lowest
toast?
point only lasted maybe a
Just
day or
regular
two, because
toast.
then I got a message from somebody saying you're not the only one. And that gave me a glimmer of hope that I'm like, wait, so there's somebody else. I'm not alone. And then we found out the previous victims.
Yeah, you had released a couple things here and there on social media, but was it tough not being able to say much about this case while it was going on? I know that you were probably biting your lip a lot and things were getting out, and obviously Dave was covering it a lot. I was covering it when I can because I was involved with her. Dave was involved with her because she was emailing us. She was trying to get her story across to us, but just this bizarre of, well, if you're not going to listen to me, then I don't want to come on your podcast. It's like, no, you just want us to tell your narrative and you want us to say that Clayton is wrong. And it's like, that's just not the way it works. I'll present both sides, but that's how she works. And if you don't believe her, then that means you're against her and she's, possibly coming after you. So it was just this weird thing, but I know that you were biting your lip during a lot of that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wanted to say so much more, but I had to be so careful because of that BS protective order she has against me. That's not rooted in any fact whatsoever. But it was weird the way that like the judge went about ruling on it. He said, you can't use your social media to harass her. And I'm like, what? Nothing about in person. She even said like, well, I still want to be able to see him in person. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, how are you enforcing some type of protective order, but not for in person, just online? Like, I was blown away by the ruling, and I was like not in favor of it all, obviously. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And the whole thing was based off of a photo that she claims only I had access to, but she put it on her Dropbox. And so I was blown away. I mean, I think the court hearing, the video finally has gotten out there. And I said, Your Honor, give me 24 hours to come back and I'll prove to you she's lying right now. Like, she sent this to multiple people. They said, no, my decision's final. And I was just like flabbergasted. I'm like, what the hell? How am I losing this case? Like, and here now you can't go on your social media and harass her. I'm like, well, what does that even mean? That's so like open-ended. So I was very, very cautious about, okay, I can't use my social media to speak on this whatsoever, because she's going to just claim it's harassment no matter what I say. But then, so I was treading lightly, but then I realized, wait, she's trying to silence my largest avenue. So then I became, I got a little bit more ballsy over time. And then I got to the point where I just became so angry. And I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm going to test this. Like, go ahead. Like, I dare. Like, if the police show up and try to put me in cuffs for her, like, this is going to be a bigger stink than you realize. Like, because then I'm going to fight this thing tooth and nail and be like, this is based on lies, this whole thing. So if I get grabbed by the.
Good for him.
Mhm.
They would have blown up huge if they had arrested him for this. Oh, the stuff that this guy has been through is unbelievable. What a story. What a story he has. He's going to, I don't know if he should write a book or do I hope to God that the documentarians interested in this get their shit together and get it done.
He should do a TED Talk.
In addition to
He
that,
should. He should do a TED Talk about what it's like to be falsely accused.
and he's
Because
doing the podcast too. He
This
talks
is
about that later on.
this is riveting stuff. I can't look away. It's really good.
Police, and carried away in cuffs. I'm like, this is only going to backfire when they're going to try to say like you violated this. I'm going to say, on what grounds? Like, show me the evidence. So I kind of got to this point where I'm like, no, wait, this is all based in a lie. So this protective order to me doesn't even exist. I don't really consider it valid whatsoever. And I just don't. That's the way I see it now. But I also have found that I'm like, I have freedom of speech, and I'm not harassing her whatsoever by speaking the truth, you know, and she's a public figure by all definitions.
Yeah. And he is absolutely allowed to talk about his experience with this person.
Yep.
That is not harassment.
You know, she has a podcast. She, you know, wants to be known until all of a sudden she doesn't, until her name gets out there, and then she wants to quiet everything. So I'm like, you put my name out there and you put your own name out there. I didn't put your name out there. It was you put your name out there by leaking this out to everybody. They went to the court hearings. They found your name. I'm like, I haven't done anything to harass you. I haven't told anybody to harass you. I've told everyone, hey, don't go after her.
Hey, that reminds me. I have something I need to address here. Well, not really. I mean, I don't have to, but I'm going to, because all of you here know that no matter what I talk about or who I talk about on this channel, you are not supposed to contact them ever.
Yeah.
No matter what YouTube channel you're watching, whatever they're talking about and whoever they're talking about, you are not supposed to contact them ever. This is like the rule of being an internet watcher. Totally. You never, ever, ever contact anybody. And I always let you know who to contact if there's somebody to contact. I always do. We do action streams where we contact elected officials, the county attorney, etc. Those are the only times ever when I tell you, contact this person, that I want you to contact them. And if I don't say that, you're never to contact anybody, ever. So the other night, Tuesday, I was on with Tug, and I had gotten that hilarious. And everyone here knows that if I get hate mail, that's content, baby. That is content, baby. Hate mail is funny. So on Tuesday night, I read this funny email that I got from a Redditor about copyright infringement for reading a Reddit post that somebody had written. And this person, it was really funny. And Tug and I read it, and we were just joking about it. I do love hate mail. If you want to send me hate mail, if you want to hear your words read out loud on a YouTube channel, definitely send hate mail, because that'll get my attention every time. But, you know, this Redditor, who I did not use her name, I used her Reddit name, which is anonymous, of course. Reddit names are anonymous. I didn't use her name, even though I have it, because I have, you know, an email from this person.
No copyright attached to that. So
of course not. Of course not. And I made fun of it, like I would normally make fun of things. But it does appear that this person perhaps is fragile and sent me another email that was just kind of sad. And I you guys know, I never have any maliciousness towards anybody. And if I'm mocking you for sending me silly or stupid emails, I still have no maliciousness towards you.
it comes from
at
a
all.
place of love.
It does. It comes from a place of love, and also to teach that, you know, this is how it is. This is how the way is. This is how copyright law is. But I mean, look, just keep in mind, anything you put out there publicly, anybody can read. Anybody can read online. Anybody can. And if you send me any emails, I'm absolutely going to read them if they're funny. And you know, I'm not, but I do apologize if anybody got offended or upset by that. But there's no doxing. There's none of that. This person claimed that she got a bunch of nasty emails on Reddit about it. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I think, I don't know. I just don't know if it's true or not. But I never want to upset people. I never want to make people feel anxiety, unless they're people like David Gingras. In that case, I don't really give a shit. But, you know, just a rando on Reddit, like who I'm doing a bit about, like, it's not malicious, you guys. It's not. But I'm not going to read the other email that, you know, this person sent, because, you know, I just feel like perhaps that they're in an unhinged kind of place, and yeah, it's a little bit snowflakey, and you know, I don't want there's now, you know, some stuff about this person feeling anxious and scared. And it's like, well, there's no need for that because no one knows who you are. And if you feel like your
Yeah.
Reddit account is blown, create another one. Do you know how many Reddit accounts I have?
Yeah, it's not like
4.
Kiwi Farms is going to come after you over a Reddit post about this
No.
case.
And I liked the post. Maybe I didn't
Yeah.
say this enough, but like her post was
Yeah.
really good and I enjoyed it and we all liked it. So I don't really understand what started the being upset thing anyway. I don't get it. I don't get it. So anyway, if anybody thought that, that was uncalled for or whatever, you just have to know that's part of my show. If you send crazy, funny emails accusing me of doing ridiculous things, chances are I'm going to read it and I'm going to make fun of it because that's just what I do.
The only emails she doesn't read are the ones that are actually asking for help.
Right. And sources.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not dumping out sources, but I mean, when I get these funny emails from people who, are reeing all over the place about something that they got butthurt about, it's funny. It's funny.
I asked Megan to proof something like a week ago, and she still hasn't gotten back to me.
Probably haven't even read it. What is it?
DM.
Oh, now I remember. I didn't read it yet. Oh my God. Did you ask me to proof that? I
Well,
thought you were just sending it to me to read.
Oh, that might have been my bad. But
Which I haven't
Drama,
read.
drama.
I didn't realize you wanted me to proof it for you. I will absolutely do that. Would you re-forward it to me so I have it
Yeah.
at the top of my inbox?
Yeah, because we talked about that thing yesterday, and I was like, I could add that in, but I still need to know if the other stuff is good.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good.
I didn't mean to.
My
ignore
bad.
So anyway, to the person on Reddit who got really upset about it, I didn't realize you were truly upset, and that's unfortunate. Don't get so lighten up. Lighten up and have some fun. Learn to laugh at yourself. I laugh at myself all the time because I'm ridiculous, and I know it. And that email was ridiculous. So just laugh about it. Have another martini with Mary. Mary will invite you over for martini hour with Chester, and everyone will be okay.
And her grandson, Greg.
I thought her grandson's name was Christian. Not Christian.
You know that Greg account on Twitter that posts a bunch of stuff, and sometimes she has adopted him as grandson.
Oh no, I didn't know this. I guess I'm not paying close enough attention to Mary's Twitter. Unhung Hero says, we laugh at and with Megan all the time. It's true.
Yes.
It's true. One of my absolute favorite memes of me is of my butt bending over the desk or trying to get the computer set up. That was so funny. You guys caught
That and
me
you
with my-
burning water.
and burning water. Yep. Oh yes, Christopher. Sorry, grandson is Christopher. Yes. Waiting for the next Mary update from Bruce. Yeah, always be a good sport about people poking fun at you especially when it's good natured. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the super chats because I'm getting behind. Hey Joe. Thanks for the 20. Says happy Friday. I'm with you. I'm glad it's Friday. Q, thanks for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Fig Laura Owens, good to see you in the chat. Off the rails. He was on rails. Oh, you said it, not me.
Is
David
that a new
Woodman
gummy?
Siege. Bad legal argument should just be the free space. Everything has been a bad legal argument from day one. I know. It's true. Fake Laura Owens, thanks to the 5. If it was coming from behind you, it was GG, but he doesn't smoke.
That was nuts. I read that. I was like, he typed that? Oh my gosh.
I know. I read a few things on. I'm not even sure that's YouTube safe. I don't think I can read some of those texts. Honey, 28.
Oh, that's the text messages?
Yeah. Thanks
Oh,
for
I'm
the
going to
2.
try to read those.
I need a Trumpomania hat. Yeah, MG,
Yes.
you might be able to get away with it on late night YouTube after
Yeah.
2 hours. After 2
late
hours.
night Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't do it till after the 2-hour mark. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
Just a Wombat, thanks for the super chat. Secret Service should have shouted, Donald Duck! Fallen Hero 4567, thanks for the gifted membership. Appreciate that. Very generous of you. Diana71, thanks for the 5. I'm sorry you're getting something on X. I really heard you and Make America Friends Again, but Laura Owens was not invited. Yeah, everybody was mad at me on Twitter yesterday for saying we should all be friends and stop trying to cancel each other. And somehow that was really unpopular. And I was doing an experiment. I was doing an experiment where I was posting just Bible verses from Romans.
Yeah.
To see how many Christians would get angry with me. And there were quite a few. Or me saying things like, do not take revenge. Do not, let's see, what did it say? There were some really good ones. But man, were people angry with me for saying we should get along and we should turn the heat down, and it's funny how many Christian people got very offended at the words of Romans 12.
Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Yeah. Do not be overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. I mean, when all these people they're going after this grandma who works at Home Depot because she told a stale joke at this point. It's too bad that he missed. I believe generally when people say those things, they don't mean it. I believe that they think they're being funny, or that they're frustrated in a way that they say this thing that they didn't think about all that well. And I don't think that it does anybody any good to go after the grandma getting minimum wage at Home Depot. Now, Destiny, on the other hand,
he's going nuts.
A streamer with all
he deserves
this
it all.
Big platform and power and all of that. That's a totally different story. Okay, you will not hear me complaining at all about the cancellation of Destiny or him losing contracts or whatever. Them's the rules. But going after personally, like just some woman who works at Home Depot, I'm sorry, I don't like it. And I think it smacks of
cancel culture.
Cancel culture, which we don't like. And I understand making the left live up to its own rules. I get that. But also you got to pick a target. You got to pick a target that matters, not a target that people will feel automatic sympathy for. That's a silly thing to do. Nobody cares if Destiny, gets consequences for the stupid shit he is saying.
And then double, triple, quadruples down on it even more. He called for the genocide of conservatives. Like, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's one that I posted. Here's one. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. But people get so pissed. This guy really went nuts. Dark Tech Observer. No, once your enemy is recovered, he kills you. That's what an enemy is. And I'm like, Jesus is a liar then, who gives real bad advice. I don't know. I don't know.
That was Paul, though.
People get so mad.
Yeah, that was
it was Paul.
Paul's letter to the Romans.
Paul's letter to the Romans. Yes, that is correct. But of course, if you believe the Bible is inspired by God, right? Then it's all Jesus. So
Actually, have you seen 1917?
The
movie
Yellowstone?
No, movie.
No,
1917.
I don't know. I don't.
It's a World War I movie about two brothers getting tasked to go do something. It's really good, and I don't want to spoil a scene, but something that ties into that verse happens in that scene, and it's interesting.
This is the one that everybody got mad at me for. This is what I said that was so terrible. Hear me out. What if instead of punishing these people, MAGA reached out with words of conciliation and friendship? Invite them for a beer. Send them a gift card and a sweet note. Hard to hate somebody who tries to be your friend. On the other hand, it is very easy to hate someone who gets you fired. I don't know. I just think that that's common sense.
Yeah.
And I said, if Daryl Davis can befriend the KKK, and he did. He made friends with 200 members of the KKK, and they gave him their robes eventually and left the KKK. If he can do that, I don't see why we can't sit down together. Like, I really don't. And this is, look at this. This is, people get so pissed. It's called the law of karma. Learn it.
But
Why?
that's the thing is,
Why wouldn't people hate a party that does nothing while they're allowed to lose their jobs over taking run-of-the-mill positions, while their opponents are literally allowed to call for the deaths of people like them with no consequences? But I mean, it's like, so your answer is to just become just like that? That doesn't make sense, because we know that that is bad. We know this is bad.
Karma can have never-ending chains of karma attached to it, and that's where the forgiveness helps break that.
Helps break that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because everyone will eventually have retribution on each other, and the idea is that the retribution should stop, because that's how you heal and move past it.
Look at this one. It's too late to reconcile with that level of hate. It will only come from their own self-reflection. Unemployment helps facilitate self-reflection. And my response was, no one in the history of the cancel mob has ever been canceled, fired, destroyed, and then decided that they deserved it. Ever. Yeah. There will be no self-reflection. There will just be an escalation, you guys. This will just escalate. It will just get worse and worse until it's violence. This is a type of violence, this getting people fired and ruining their careers and stuff, which is why I'm so against it. Because it's a type of violence against another, taking away someone's career and their way to put food on the table. It's what they tried to do. They were trying to do to Dave, right? When Dave wanted to talk to me, and then it's all, oh, you can't listen to him anymore because he platforms these far right wingers, or he's talking to this woman, and that's bad. And I'm unsubscribing and all of that garbage. That's a form of violence on somebody. Even though it's not physical, it's like this financial violence. I don't like it. And it is very close to physical violence. And it gives people like the right to other somebody to the point of dehumanizing them, to the point where somebody's taking a shot at them. And then those and other people are going, yeah, he deserved it. That's what happens here. And that's why I'm like, hey, dial it back. Dial it back. Let's dial this back, please. Let's turn the heat down, because guess what? I don't want my children bleeding on a bloody battlefield somewhere in this country with their neighbors because you people couldn't just give it a rest. You know? Dial it back.
Of the wallet.
Dial it back. So, and there, if you want to go through all these responses, it's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, it's just like everyone's so pissed at me for being like, hey, let's be friends. And I'm never going to stop saying that. I'm never going to stop saying that. I am going to keep advocating for peace between Americans and neighbors as long as I have breath in this body. I will never pick up a weapon and use it against my neighbor. I refuse. I refuse. And no pacifist has ever started a war, by the way. There is nobody who has refused to fight who has begun a war. And I just think we should refuse to fight each other. Just refuse it. And if there's enough of us that say, no, we will not fight with each other, there won't be any problem. Like, we can stop this. My favorite part about the speech last night was Donald Trump saying, I can stop wars with telephone calls. I love that. Let's talk. And that's a really deep thing, actually. We can stop this too between us by just talking to each other, having a beer, sitting down. Look, here's the thing. Some people will dial it back. Not all, but if enough of us dial it back, yeah, we can make a difference. So I'm just not going to be adding to the voices calling for more and more escalation. I just won't do it. And I won't demonize an entire half of the country as Democrats all do this, or liberals are all like this. Republicans, that's as bad as all MAGA supporters are, fascists or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not true. It's not true. None of that is true. Not all Democrats do one thing. Not all Republicans do one thing. Everybody's an individual, and everybody needs to be treated that way. All right. So let's go back to, I don't want to read. Let's go to the tweets because they're funny. And I don't want to read his stupid motion anymore. All right. We're going to go over to David Gingras' tweets because this show is about him.
Oh, boy.
I need to stop the screen and I need to share a different screen. There we go. Off the rails. This is the off the rails portion of this show. I didn't want to do. Hold on. I didn't want to do this. But today's LOVCE development needs some explanation. So I wrote an 8 million word blog post to explain it.
Wrote a
Again,
dissertation.
I will ignore my better judgment. Does anybody really think David Gingras has any better judgment?
Let me law-splain this to you, because y'all laymen's are too dumb to understand this thing
How
that you're
many
reading.
times has he said he's going to stop commenting on this stuff?
So many. So many.
There will be no further comment until the appeal, but I got to do this.
So many. Again, I will ignore my better judgment and leave comments open for now. Fair comments, questions, criticisms are fine. Hate will be blocked and will turn comments off. Okay, let's read through the commentary, shall we? Desert Witch says, I agree Laura will get her day in court again. Unfortunately, it will be in front of a criminal court judge. David Gingras says, explain why you think that is. And I'll be happy to explain why you're probably wrong. Desert Witch replies, because she was referred to Maricopa County Attorney's Office for review of her actions. And there is an active investigator who's possibly looking at these tweets right now. Gingras says, okay, let's take that one step at a time and let's ignore the fact Mata's referral is probably going to be tossed because of her actions. Okay, if anybody had, if you have your bingo card open, we need to check off, oh, I forgot to put it there.
Whoops.
Damn it!
Jeez, you're fired from these bingo cards.
I'm fired. Thinking
Messed
only
up
of
last
perjury.
night.
I know.
You're
I
fired.
did mess up last night.
She had my
I
help
did.
too, which makes it even worse.
I know. Brad did help me with today's bingo card.
Yeah, so it's Brad's fault. There we
Thinking
go.
only of perjury. Tell me one specific fact you believe Laura lied about. Don't need every fact, just the number one big one. Oh, he keeps on asking
This is a good
the
one.
same question. I know it is. But let's just think about this. He actually thinks that the county attorney is going to toss this case due to the judge in this case. No,
None of
I
that
don't
matters.
think
She
it
lied
matters.
under oath and she tampered with evidence.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because this one thing about the Sunday or whatever has nothing to do with what the county attorney's looking into.
Yeah. And if he gets a new trial, she's still boxed into the testimony she gave. It's not as if her testimony under oath didn't happen.
You think that she's going to be locked in from the...
Well, for future perjury, yeah, she's still
Cool.
boxed into what she testified to at trial.
Because she's still locked into the deposition stuff in the
Yes,
affidavits that she
exactly.
did.
Yes, which is why she's referred for perjury and her statements in court previously. So
The district attorney is already investigating, says Fenchurch, and if it finds problems independently, they're not going to throw it away if Judge Mata is pulled from the family case. Exactly. As for the lies, this is a sonogram of our son. I went to Dr. Higley, and she obtained benefit from those lies. Now he's going, this is unbelievable. What do you think the elements of perjury are? Screw it. I will just give them to you straight from the jury instructions. And then he's underlying regarding a material issue. So go to your bingo cards and check off minor perjury. Minor perjury, folks. He thinks that minor perjury is not sanctionable or prosecutable. But by the way, it isn't minor. It is a material issue whether or not she was pregnant. That's a material issue. She misled. She brought a whole action under fraud.
and where she went to Planned Parenthood
Mm-hmm.
is a
And
material
she
issue.
doctored evidence. Like, this is not minor. It is all of it is material. She violated the rules of discovery in order to hide evidence and then perjured herself by tampering with evidence. It's unbelievable.
So in the same way that he says the Planned Parenthood is not material to the case, Mata saying that Planned Parenthood not being open on Sunday is somehow completely structural, should toss the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad, that is an excellent observation you just had there. Excellent.
But the issue is the perjury for where she went, because she keeps changing she's changed where she went, and she was ordered by the court to turn over everything related to Orange County and San Bernardino County.
Mm-hmm. Desert Witch says Laura never treated by Dr. McCool or Dr. Higley as testified to in her November 2 hearing on the IAH. She never saw Dr. McCool last Friday as testified to in the same hearing. Actually, that was Higley. Also, the 21-week sonogram was not her son's as testified to during her OOP against Clayton.
I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
Okay. Boise Dem says during the June 10th trial, she told you she went to Planned Parenthood in late June, but then told Deandra she went July 2. 2 different stories in a single trial? Yeah, I mean, the Jen, she was never pregnant. Mildred, quoting Gingras. I love this. Yes, Miss Owens made some misstatements along the way.
She lied?
Including misstatements to third parties and at least one minor misstatement to the court.
This will get awkward.
When... Oh my God. What's the probable spam? This is not spam. This is a GIF and it's funny. Let's see. Does he respond at all down here?
I don't
again?
think so.
All right.
You
So
gotta
let's
find
go
the one
back.
where hay bales are in. I think it was Medusa. We're getting on him.
All right. Let's see. Here. All right. Now, when Laura made the comment about seeing Dr. Higley, what context did that occur in? She was in front of Judge Duty asking for an order to prevent online harassment, right? Go to your bingo cards and you can click off Grandpa Duty. And he's wrong, 100% wrong, because she was in front of Judge Galketsis for Clayton's OOP hearing. He doesn't even know. He is so wrong about everything in this case. It is unfreaking believable. And by the way, guys, I want to encourage you right now to continue writing to the county attorney, to Rachel Mitchell's office. Also keep tweeting her. I think we need to do another tweeting Blizzard today. We need to tweet Blizzard at Rachel Mitchell. It's Rachel1 Mitchell, I believe, at Rachel1 Mitchell. And what you need to do is tweet at her to make sure she talks to Greg Gillespie. Make sure she talks to the other victim in Maricopa County and put Greg's stuff out there today. I want to do a tweet Blizzard at Rachel Mitchell, Maricopa County attorney, about Greg Gillespie. So if you guys are on Twitter, please, please, please keep contacting the county attorney. Keep sending her letters. Maybe we should do a letter stream again and do one for Greg.
Yeah. Because
specifically just like giving her a little list of here are the worst things that she did in the Greg Gillespie case that she should be looked into for. Because look, if he is seriously thinking, he really thinks that the county attorney is going to let this one go and let it slide under the rug. That's what he thinks. And he thinks that he's going to do it through intimidating the county attorney's office. Wait till we get to that part.
Yeah.
This is something that you guys need to bring to her attention, that David Gingras is literally threatening to intimidate the county attorney's office, and we're going to get to that in a minute, through lawsuits if they keep on going after Laura. This is absolutely ridiculous. So we need to let the county attorney know what David Gingras is up to, that her lawyer is going to do some very unethical shit in order to get his client out of this trouble. So let's start. And guys, please tag me.
Ooh.
If you are tagging Rachel Mitchell, thank you, Danny on Direct. If you are tagging Rachel Mitchell on Twitter in these tweets, please tag me also, because I want to keep a running. I want to see how many she's getting. Okay. All right, let's continue. Desert Witch says this is incorrect. It was in front of Judge Galketsis. Then Gingras, well, clearly I'm guilty of perjury now, right? You dumbass moron. Perjury only happens when you're under oath in front of a judge, and he knows that. You are guilty, though, of being a dumbass. Definitely. But yes, point noted, although it has zero impact on the legal issues. Everything he doesn't want to have impact, according to him, has zero impact on anything. Well, that has no impact. It's just minor perjury. It's just mistakes, and even intentional lies aren't perjury unless they meet all elements of that crime, and it's not as simple as you think. Oh my God. Stop it. Says Fenchurch, the DA will or won't bring charges. A judge or jury may or may not find she perjured herself. And he says, 100% agree. But then there's the issue of what happens if Laura sues Maricopa County over Mata's conduct. This is possible. Actually, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't think that is possible. For one, you cannot sue a judge because they have judicial immunity, right? So you can't sue a judge for anything they do in a case, as long as they're acting as a judge. And you can't sue the county for what the judge did. That's not a loophole. That is not the loophole you're looking for, sir. I know about suing judges. My entire career has been about reporting on lawsuits against bad judges. It is next to impossible to sue a judge, and I have never heard of anybody suing a county on behalf of for something that a judge did in a courtroom that they have immunity for. That is not how any of this works. But here he is, you know what he's doing? He knows he can't win this. That would create a conflict because the county attorney would be prosecuting Laura while also defending the county against vexatious litigation by Laura. Do you see what he's doing? This, oh my God. Cue snake chorus. This is the snakiest shit I ever heard. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I have taken a screenshot of this. I'm going over to Twitter right now at Megan Fox Writer. Please join me over there on Twitter. I am going to start our tweet storm at Rachel Mitchell with this new information. This new, and by the way, on your bingo card, please check off suing the county. Suing the county is now checked off on the Fetal Attraction bingo card for today.
I mentioned in chat, hashtag charge her so that we can find all of the tweets going to Rachel Mitchell.
Let's hashtag it. Hashtag charge her. I like it. Or justice for Laura, because either way, I don't know. Hashtag charge her. Yes, let's do that. Let me stop the screen. We want to share a new screen. Let's go over to my Twitter. We are going to create a new tweet. And I don't want you to just retweet this, you guys. I need you to do your own tweets, okay? That's how you get stuff trending. You don't want, and if you do retweet me, write your own message at the top, tagging Rachel Mitchell, tagging me again, and also hashtag charge her. Okay, you have to do your own hashtags. You can't use mine. It won't work that way. It will not register. This is Twitter lesson 101 for you guys. All right, here we go. David Gingras, Esquire, is now using threats and intimidation against Maricopa County attorney Rachel One. There she is, Rachel One Mitchell, to get his perjurous client. How do I spell perjurous? Perjurous? See if it, I got it. Client off the hook. This is, let's also tag the state bar. This is unconscionable, disgusting, and unethical. AZ State Bar of Arizona. And now I'm going to put the screenshot that I took. There we go. Threatening vexatious litigation against the against the county. Wow. Hashtag charge her. Do we like it in all caps or do we want not all caps? Charge her. I am going to also include justice for Laura Owens. Am I within my tweet limit, word limit? Yeah, I think so.
I think you're premium because it looks like you have a lot more space than
I am, but I can't, but still it won't show up unless you, I want it to show up all in the same thing. Let me see.
Because I think that's what that giant circle thingy is.
Yeah, I think I still have a little bit left. Here, I can find out by just doing this. No, it's not red. It still says green. Yeah. All right, so we're good, I think. Here, I can cut out useless words. I go back and do this sometimes. Superfluous words can go. An intimidation against Maricopa. Let's just do, threats. Is now using threats. Let's just do threats.
Oh, well, what did I miss?
Oh,
what did you miss? Oh, David Gingras.
Yeah, I was on my wife called, so I
Esquire
had to
is
answer.
He's using threats against Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell to get his perjurious. I spelled it wrong. Let's just do this. His lying client off the hook. This is unconscionable, disgusting, and unethical. Arizona State Bar threatening vexatious litigation against the county? ? That should be ? Wow. Charge her. Justice for Laura Owens. We are doing a tweet storm today at the county attorney and also at the Arizona State Bar to bring their attention to this disgusting bullshit. MG, let me ask you, have you ever heard of anything like this? He thinks he's going to sue. Look what he said. But then there's the issue of what happens if Laura sues Maricopa County over Mata's conduct. This is possible. That would create a conflict because the county attorney would be prosecuting Laura while also defending the county against Laura.
What grounds, what basis would he have for suing Mata in her acting in her judicial capacity?
Not Mata, the county. He is threatening to sue the county for what this would be completely bullshit. But they would have to
that's never going anywhere. That would be sanctionable to file that on its face.
Do you think so? I think so too.
Oh God, that's ridiculous.
I think so too. I mean, this guy. All right, I'm posting this. You guys can retweet it, but please, if you retweet it, make sure that you write your own message at the top, that you include the hashtags we talked about, and you tag Rachel Mitchell and the Arizona State Bar. This kind of behavior by attorneys is why everybody hates attorneys. And you know what's really unfortunate? In my whole life, I have never met an attorney like this.
And it still doesn't get his client off the hook for perjury. Because it's not like her statements under oath magically disappear just because if that judgment gets vacated because Mata engaged in misconduct, that does not undo what her testimony was. It doesn't it doesn't just vanish because of that. She still made statements under oath that she knew were untrue.
Erica Pauly, this is a very good point. His conversations with the bar have clearly made him feel unsanctionable. That's right, because they haven't done anything about his horrific comments and behavior until this point, and he believes they're never going to do anything to him. And maybe he's right. He might be right. Because it does seem like the Arizona bar is like a bunch of guys standing around in a circle jerk doing nothing, like Dave said. Well, it does. What does he have to do? What does he have to do in order to actually violate your ethical obligations there, Arizona State Bar? He's sued Maricopa County before for what? I need to know this. If you did, I need to know what for. Because that would be something I would want to read. I've never seen an attorney. Look, I know attorneys. I love attorneys. You guys know how many attorneys I know and love. Attorneys are some of the best people on earth. Honest to God, they really are. And they do not deserve the kind of reputation that they have because of people like this. Because these people are very few and far between. These types of lawyers are not, they're not, there's not that many of them. If there were, I would have encountered so many more of them by now. I would have encountered so freaking many of them. But I haven't. The lawyers I encounter are all good people. Tilted Lawyer says, then just effing sue the county then, bitch.
Thank you, Omar.
Well, do it.
It's not going to go anywhere.
No, but I do think, though, that it would create a problem. Do you see? He would create this messy thing. It would create a problem.
People sue county officials and stuff all the time. It doesn't change anything.
I disagree with you that it doesn't change anything. I mean, look at my favorite attorney, and no offense to anyone in the in my audience or on my panel right now, but my favorite attorney, but if we're picking favorites, I do love MG, but my favorite attorney of all time is Sean McMillan, who, MG, you've met him. He tried to talk you into helping him, joining his cause.
Yeah.
Sean McMillan does sue the counties, and he does win huge amounts, and he makes big change. Orange County.
No, I'm not talking about, but I've that's not what I mean as far as that. I'm talking about these particular issues here with
frivolous things.
Yeah, this alleged misconduct, interjudicial capacity. You're going to sue the county because Mata made a mistake.
I don't even think it's
possible. It's not like
there's no grounds
she was thrown in jail or was, like a child being, kidnapped by CPS over misconduct.
Explain this to me though. You couldn't file a suit against the county for the actions of a judge acting in her judicial capacity. You couldn't. That's the thing. She's acting in her judicial capacity. You disagree with it. You think it was misconduct. You're not going to see Young Thug sue Judge Glanville in Fulton County over his ex parte hearing. He would get immunity. He would get judicial immunity. And so does she. She gets judicial immunity. Now, I happen to believe that judicial immunity should really not be a thing. I don't like immunity. I don't like sovereign immunity, which is what they have.
No, they need to have. Yeah, they have.
They need to have.
Well, it's absolutely essentially it's ridiculous.
They need to have qualified immunity, because I do understand the need to have immunity for issues like this shit. Like, this is something that a judge should absolutely have immunity for, because this is so dumb. But when you're talking about a perfect example is Eric Amy in Missouri. So he did not get immunity for throwing those children in jail. We've talked about this before on this program. He he personally took 2 children downstairs under the court and put them in jail.
Exactly. He steps outside of his authority.
Yes. But so he lost his immunity on that part of it. But 2 months later or something, he sent officers across state lines to arrest those children, put them in handcuffs, and by giving them a warrant to get these children, he retained his immunity on that because he was acting as a judge, which I find outrageous.
He sent state police across state lines?
No. He reached across state lines.
He just issued a warrant. Okay.
And got other police in a different state, I think it was Louisiana, to arrest those children on his order. He overreached his authority, for one, because a local county judge in Missouri does not have any authority in Louisiana. Don't be ridiculous.
Wasn't there a case where the judge showed up at someone's house to do an investigation?
Yeah, before it actually conducted the search warrant. And,
she lost her immunity for that too. Unbelievable case. Unbelievable case. And she should have. But I think that they get way too much leeway for doing things on the bench.
Yeah.
Because what Judge Amy did by sending troopers to go pick up those children in another state where he has no jurisdiction, he should have lost his immunity for that too. But unfortunately, they can only go after him now for the putting the children in the jail underneath his courtroom. He's still going to lose, but he still has his job. He is still a family court judge right now, which is absolutely incredible.
Probably get promoted at some point.
Oh, probably. It's Missouri. It's Missouri, which is the doorway to hell when you're talking about anything to do with the court system. I get really mad when I talk about Missouri corruption because, you guys, I spent 15 months of my life on it, and I'm sorry if some of you live in Missouri and you're unaware of what the hell happened. Someone always gets mad at me when I say Missouri is the doorway to hell, but you have to understand. I spent 15 months of my life buried.
Danny will probably agree with you on that too. She spent a lot of time in Missouri.
I mean, it's bad there. It's bad, and thank God that Tilted Lawyer picked up some of my reporting in that state, because the things that are going on to the children of Missouri in family courts is horrendous in every way. And when I mean horrendous, I mean murders.
Yeah.
I mean suicides. I mean the worst things that you can think of that is happening to children they're happening in Missouri. And it's because no one cares to do anything about it. No one cares. IT, you got to go. IT, go T, you got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for being here, Brad. I sure appreciate you.
Well, you're going to be on with Omar soon, aren't you?
I am in a half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the proofing that you asked me to do today.
I appreciate it.
Okay. And I'm really sorry that I missed that.
No. I didn't ask, so that's my fault.
Next time, make sure you text me and be like, "Read your email now," okay? Because
Yep.
then I listen to you when you do that.
Well, sometimes when you don't have it muted.
Right. When I am looking at my phone, I will do it. If I'm not, at least I'll get to it though in an hour or two. I look at my phone eventually. But I do appreciate you, Brad.
It's so funny. I got all the best as your text tone, so Sam knows exactly when you're talking to me.
I still haven't figured out how to do it.
Oh, I
want that as a ringtone.
Remind me. I can show you how to do it. It's super easy.
Okay.
You just got to download the GarageBand app on your phone.
Oh, okay, great. All right, great. Let's do that later because I really want those ringtones. I cannot wait for that to be on my phone forever. I'm so excited. All right, Brad, have a wonderful lunch. Please hug your wife for me. Tell her I appreciate her too. All right, see ya. All right, guys, are you tweeting this? Let me see. It's been updating, so let's see. What do I have here? Let's see. At the rate this is going, says the Gun Club, her legal expenses are going to be astronomical. He will be billing her for years to come. I think he said he's doing it pro bono now.
Well, he said he's been paid, but he's willing to do it pro bono.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's such a bad case to be doing it pro bono.
He's just in too deep at this point.
Ever hold David accountable? All right, let's see the retweets. How do I see the retweets? Can I see retweets? Oh yeah, I should be able to because you guys are supposed to be notifying me. Blowjob Babies on Twitter says, that's a good one. That's a good one.
This will get awkward.
How long, to AZ Bar, how long will you allow this to continue? Absurd and making a joke of the legal system. Also harassing victims and judges now? It's unbelievable. Just Jen says, wow, David Gingras threatening to sue Maricopa County. He is repping Laura Owens, who was admitted to minor perjury and doctoring medical documents to support her fictitious pregnancy. What a disgrace. Hashtag yikes. Hashtag charge her. Hashtag disbar him. I like this one. And tagging Rachel Mitchell and the Arizona State Bar. Fantastic. Rachel Mitchell, Arizona State Bar, please do your job. Who's here? Is that Spawn?
Yeah. So,
hi, love. Where were you?
Dog was running around the road.
What?
Yeah, I had to go grab him.
How did he get out? He was on the porch.
Dog.
What neighbor?
The one.
The neighbor. Breaking news: the neighbor's dog was running around in the street. I'm like, I thought it was my dog.
Oh,
what?
a ton of cars pulled over on the side of the road, and I saw
Jesus!
something running around. I thought it was our dog because of.
Oh Jesus!
And I stopped and like, whose dog is
Here,
that?
tell the story in the microphone so everyone can hear you.
Sorry, I was talking to you, not the chat.
I
Hey,
know.
chat.
Well, you have to talk to the chat now.
So
Yeah.
I was coming home. I had to go get gas because I work later, and I was right before we got home, 2 houses down from us, the big yellow one.
Yeah.
Where they just moved from.
Are there new people? Are there new people in that house?
I guess so, because the name of the guy, I did not recognize it.
Oh, but they didn't put a for sale sign up.
I guess not. Maybe they're still renting it out.
Oh, maybe.
But I saw the dog. Everyone else was just slowing down, pulling over, stopping. I pulled over.
You thought it was our dog? Was it a German Shepherd?
No, just dark. I was too far away at that point.
Right.
But it's like this lab retriever mix thing.
Oh no wonder
Dark.
I heard our dog going crazy.
Yeah.
I just thought he was barking at runners because I have him out on the porch, by the way,
I
for a
know.
reason.
Okay.
He stinks.
Okay.
He walked through skunk or something.
Oh.
He is not allowed in the house.
Okay. But I get out of the car.
Oh, it's bad, you guys.
I get out of my car. I put my hazards on. I'm just parked on the side of the road. And the dog comes over to me. And I'm like, hey, who are you? And I'm looking for a tag. There's no tag. But
did he have a collar on?
Yeah, pink collar. So I thought it was a girl. It's not. So he's running up and down the driveway. And I was like, okay, so I'll just take you up here. And the dog's following me right at my heels. Really sweet dog.
Aww.
And I was asking people, like, do we know whose dog this is? And she goes, I think it's up there. So I took him up there. I knocked on the red house that's on that property.
Right.
He's like, oh, yeah, it's
That's the
his
rental.
dog. But if he's not there, he comes over and plays with us all the time. So you can come bring him in. So
You
I
guys don't
ended up bringing it back over
understand
to the
that
neighbors.
road I'm talking about is a very fast road.
It's a lot of blind hills,
that
blind
same
corners.
house where this dog is from now, their dog died in the road on my watch. Unfortunately, I was watching the dog, and they told
us
me
it was okay to leave
they
him out
told
on the
me
lead.
to put the dog out on their lead, so I did. And when I asked her, I said, "Well, do you want me to just walk the dog?" And she said, "Oh, no. Leave the dog out on the lead because she likes to be outside and she's fine on the lead." So I did. And she's like, "You could just come back in a couple hours and get her and put her back in." Well, I come back out and the dog is dead.
In the
because
Oh,
the
God.
dog, the collar on the dog, she got out of her collar somehow. She just got out of the collar. It was horrible.
Look,
It was absolutely horrible. Yeah, you do. You're my twin.
we sound the same.
It was horrible. Mr. Fox had to bury the dog.
Yeah,
it
me
was
and my dad went and buried him in their yard, and I was the one who was given the job of dog watching and taking care of their chickens and goats. So it really sucked because that was the first time I'd ever done that.
but
and
it
then the
wasn't
dog
it
died.
wasn't our fault, and they knew that. She was
Yeah.
like, that stupid dog. My neighbor told me, she's like, that stupid dog, that's not the first time. And I'm thinking, well, then why didn't you put a tighter collar on her?
Yeah.
Why did they tell you, hey, run out into the street before, be careful?
Yeah, they never told me that. That's why I was so worried about putting her out on the leash in the first place. I was like, I wouldn't, but if that's what they do, that's what they do. Oh,
Yeah, so I came home to a dog running on the road that I thought was ours.
that's terrifying.
And no one was getting out of their cars, and I'm like, well, I guess they don't know where they probably aren't. I live right next door, so I
Yeah.
can get out and I can help
Well,
the
I'm
dog.
glad. So did they take the dog back?
Oh yeah,
inside?
he's like, if there's no one at the house, like you can go check, but you can bring him back here and he'll
Oh,
come inside with
jeez.
us.
All right. Well, sorry, that was scary. Would you check on our dog actually and make sure that there are no gaps in the door or something,
Yeah.
just in case? Because good, if he could have escaped while there was a dog
Remember-
running around, that would have been hell.
Logan jumped through the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So go make sure that he hasn't jumped through the screen, and also sniff him. If he smells better, let him come back in. Because now I'm worried that he's gonna jump through the window. It's a screen. He's on the screen porch, but my father-in-law's dog did jump through the screen porch screen once. Because I don't know, he just wasn't paying attention, and he went right through the screen. And the dog could absolutely do that if he wanted to. He just hasn't. So. Yikes. All right. You guys
That's why I
keep
have
this
an
up
indoor
on Twitter.
cat.
Yeah. Keep this up on Twitter, please, because I really think that this is outrageous. This is an outrageous thing. Let's go back to, before I go on with Tilted Lawyer. I always want to say Tilted Kilt, and that is not the same thing. That is not the
You
same
just
thing.
got the other night on your mind now. Margarita Megan is coming back. She's,
You know what? I don't even really remember a lot of that stream. I hope it was fun.
man, we watched the Lumberjacks and the
I remember
Scottish
that part.
games.
I remember that part. People are still texting me about the SWAT team, the ladies SWAT team.
Yes,
My God, that was funny.
and that's from last year. I think it's from like months. I saw it months ago. Oh, it was so fun.
Oh my God. KB says, keep reading his tweets. He posted that he sued Rachel Mitchell in the past. Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad that she's had some experience with him, because I bet it wasn't a pleasant one. All right. So after the threat of threatening to create a conflict with the county so that they have a big headache on their hands, Fenchurch says, yes, that's what special prosecutors are for, right? I'm sure she'll try to jam up the works with a suit. She's pretty litigious, but that doesn't make prosecution go away. It just moves the procedure around. That is a very good point, right? She's right, MG, correct?
What's that?
That she's right.
Yes,
It doesn't make it go away, the charges. It just moves
No.
it around.
Yeah.
You just get a special prosecutor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
It
Yeah,
may
my kid
end up
is
with
awesome.
another
My kid
county
is awesome,
attorney.
and she is a hero. My kid is awesome and a hero. That does not surprise me at all. She's something. I'm glad that she was there to save the dog, because that road, when I first moved in here, my neighbors all told me. My neighbor behind me said he couldn't buy a dog anymore because he lost 2 on this road. People do 70 miles an hour, semis 70 miles an hour. You can't stop. So it is a extremely dangerous road. It's a country road, but it's dangerous. So yeah, thank God she was there. Because I do not want to deal with another dead dog situation on this road. Dead dog road. We're gonna start calling my
Dead
road
Dog
dead dog.
Road.
I live on Dead Dog Road. So far, I know of 3 dogs who died on this road. So,
Yep. Dead Dog Road.
I have my dog on a collar, but it's not. I have to use the remote, so he can't be outside without my, supervision. But he does listen to his collar, so that's good. All right, David says, Honestly, I want to see Laura put an end to all this stuff, and she sincerely
Bullshit.
wants that as well.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. Clayton, Woodnick are the only ones who want to keep pushing this because why? Fame. Ask them. Laura would gladly
Fame,
do
really?
this tomorrow. You guys,
Is he trying to be a comedian now?
this man exhausts me. If he thinks for 1 second, now listen, I have spoken. I've told you that I have had some conversation with Greg Woodnick has gone on the record with me like 2 times, right? That he's
Yeah.
given me statements. Let me just say this. The exhaustion is palpable. It is palpable. And he has been able to say nothing, really. He's hardly said anything. He hasn't done any interviews where he sat down on camera. He hasn't been able to, nobody in his office has been able to say anything. The idea that he wants fame out of this is...
Feel like he needs it?
It's outrageous. I mean, do you remember when he tried to get away from her, when Woodnick tried to get away from Laura when she accused him of the horrific kidnapping and ARPing, and he left the case?
Yeah.
He wanted to be done with it then. I think he just was unable to say no when it happened a second time. Because, listen, my sister knows Greg Woodnick pretty well from being, I mean, they don't hang out socially, but I mean, she hired him 10 years ago to deal with her family court stuff. And I've talked to my sister about it, and like his reputation in Maricopa County, by the way, is stellar. He has a reputation of being a super lawyer who is a bulldog in court, who wins all the time and who cares about his clients. That's what I hear from my sister, from people that she knows, she got him on a recommendation. So the reason why she hired him was through a recommendation. Why is this hair in my face? It's driving me crazy.
Be like me and not have any up there.
I know. It keeps coming in front of my eye. I have to do something. I have to put it behind me. Okay, there. He has a stellar reputation. Greg Woodnick, though, if you look him up and you try to find like media appearances, etc., articles with his name in it, like there's nothing out there. The only ones I can find are the ones that I've written, and I will admit, I have been a thorn in this man's side. I am sorry, Greg. I am sorry. I am, because I bother him all the time, and I know that they don't like that, and I know that he doesn't, but he's always been polite to me. But I can tell that he doesn't want to hear from me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this is something he wants to do. If he did, he absolutely would have taken the chance to jump at some of these interviews. I guarantee that he has gotten media requests from people much bigger than me. And he has said no, clearly, because he hasn't been anywhere. So the idea that he wants to be famous from this is absurd. He has a more than 25-year record in Maricopa County. You guys go ahead and Google him. You're not going to find him whoring it up in the media anywhere. Not like this jackass who's like on and in front of every camera he can get in front of, and sends Dave Neal pictures of himself, glamour shots in front of the hot lights of Netflix or whatever the hell that was. Like whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I get offended. I actually am offended by this. I'm offended by the notion that Greg Woodnick is poorly behaved here. I could see how I could see how he could spin it to say Clayton wants to be in front of the cameras because he's done several interviews. So at least we can say that part of it is true. Although I don't
was on The
believe
Bachelor,
that.
but he doesn't need the fame either.
He doesn't. And also, I think anybody who's had a 1-minute conversation with him or even watched one of his interviews knows that he's a very sincere, good-hearted guy. And I don't think Clayton wanted any of this to happen, and he's making the best out of it that he can. But at least you could, if you're being a devil's advocate, you could make the argument that Clayton might want to get some or maybe some reputational repair, right? Through doing media interviews, which would be totally understandable. But I think you could make that argument. You cannot make it about Greg Woodnick, and frankly, I'm offended by this. I'm offended by this. I have seen Greg Woodnick do nothing but put hours and months of his life into this case where I know he's not going to see a dime of attorney's fees. And this guy is going to talk about that too. All right, we got to get through this. Fenchurch, pretend with me. I love Fenchurch, by the way. Fenchurch, if you are in the audience today, you're a rock star. Pretend with me. Laura absolutely knows she was never pregnant by Clayton, and she knows she's done this to other men. This is what keeps Clayton and Woodnick pushing. Remember, she accused Woodnick of orchestrating her SA. They want to stop her lies and destruction. Now, he is not going to, Gingras is not even going to, he's not even going to mention what she did to Woodnick. He's going to pretend like it never happened.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's going to ignore that.
Oh, by the way, order of harassment can be checked off the bingo card. I still don't have bingo. I'll tell you what could give me bingo right now is Mary Lincoln's.
You left all the good stuff off the card.
I know. Mary Lincoln's Martini Hour would give me a bingo. So if Mary shows up in the comments, I've got a bingo. I don't know about any of you, but I do. All right, let's see. Gingras says, if Laura knew she was never pregnant, why would she have filed this case? Oh, I don't know, David.
To try to get him,
revenge?
Or to try to essentially intimidate or coerce Clayton into dating her, make it go away.
Revenge. We heard Clayton's chilling testimony of how her face changed and a demonic force came out of her and spun her head around. And it's revenge. It's revenge. That is exactly like getting wasted and then going out of your way to drive to the police station and demanding a breath test, something that I bet he has experience with. By filing this case, Laura exposed herself to being tested, which she asked for.
She didn't think that far ahead. She didn't think it was going to get that far.
I think she did, actually. I have a different theory. She knew the result was going to be little to no fetal DNA, and she could spin it.
Which is why she thought that she could get it dismissed.
She thought it would be inconclusive, and so she spun it to be inconclusive, and so she could drag it out longer. She knew that it wasn't a pregnancy test. You know, when you're sending a DNA test in, they don't say pregnant or not pregnant. And then he said, if Laura knew she wasn't pregnant, she would have known the Ravgen test would instantly confirm this. No, it wouldn't, because it's not a pregnancy test. But yet she pushed to immediately have the test done. Why? To drag it out. Why do that if she knew the test would expose the lie? Because
to try to get him to date her. I mean, he just said that. I'll do the Ravgen test, but do you have to date me?
Exactly.
And he's like, no.
Whoa, I have a high heart rate right now. Apparently, I'm getting worked up. My Apple Watch says my heart rate rose above 120 BPM while I seem to be inactive for 10 minutes, starting at 1:40 PM. So 10 minutes ago, I got upset. And I'm still upset. According to my, whatever was happening 10 minutes ago, I'm pissed.
Oh, you were talking about Missouri.
Oh, God. I bet I was. I bet
you were.
I was. You know what, really, I have a little bit of secondary trauma from that. And I'm not surprised. Okay, now I can feel it. Damn it, I'm having a heart attack on here.
No, don't do that. It's content, baby. Content.
It's content. All right. 3 deep breaths, everybody. Why? Why do that if she knew the test would expose the lie? Because she wasn't lying. Yeah, the escaped dog. I did get upset about the dog too, because I thought my daughter said our dog is running around in the road, which did terrify me also. I'll be okay. My heart can take it. I've got a good one. I've got a good ticker. Believe me, I thrive.
The best heart. It's an amazing heart.
Nobody's got a heart like this. It beats like you can't believe. Nobody's heart beats faster than mine. My heart is tremendous, I tell you. It's a tremendous heart that can take a lot. It pumps the most blood. The most blood you've ever seen pumped goes through this heart. It's funny. My dad and I are so similar. We thrive on adrenaline and rage. We have a rage thing. We are ragers, and that's why, like, my children are always like, "Why are you always yelling?" I'm like, I'm not yelling at you.
That's just how
I
talk.
Yeah. That's how I talk. That's how my dad talks. Like we're really expressive, but people can take that
I'm
as,
Italian.
why
Of
are you
course I talk
yelling?
loud.
Why are you yelling at me? It's like, well, it's just who I am. Everybody just calm down. I can't calm down. You have to calm down for me because I am not able to calm down. Yeah. All right. Because he says she wasn't lying. Yeah, we have a different theory though, David. We don't believe this. Okay, let's see. Does he respond in here in any way? No. Okay, let's go back to his main page. We read that. Oh, here we go. I know it may sound nuts, but I sued Maricopa County a couple years ago, different context, and we got the county to pay $175,000 to my client. One issue had to do with bad legal advice given by the county attorney. Happy to do that again if necessary. Wow. Maricopa County avoided a likely scathing federal court ruling Wednesday when the Board of Supervisors voted to pay $175,000 to reporter Jordan Conradson and the parent company of the right-wing news site, The Gateway Pundit. David Gingras, you represented a far-right publication? You traitor! You traitor to the cause! Wait a minute. Did he say this guy was a reporter? How come this guy gets to have reporter status who works for the Gateway Pundit, which, by the way, is further right than PJ Media by a lot? And he gets to be called a reporter, but I'm not?
Yeah.
This settlement raises questions about the legal advice provided by Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell and her decision to defend obvious First Amendment violations highlighted by the county's politically
Okay, so there's still a big difference.
What?
Obvious First Amendment violations is different than what Judge Mott is alleged to have done.
But I want to know what happened here. By the county's politically tinged refusal to issue Conradson a press pass during the 2022 general election. Oh boy, I wish I could sue certain counties for not giving me press passes.
You could.
Because they do. Yeah, I'm glad they got sued and they lost for that.
Maybe you can hire Gingras to represent you.
I will. If anything ever happens in Maricopa County and they don't give me a press pass, he's the first one I'm going to call. But in light of Maricopa County's disastrous appearance during oral arguments at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit in January, it is now clear why Mitchell's office found settling the case to be the best available option. Wow, this is actually great. I was looking for a case that he did that actually I would enjoy reading about. Like, show me you're a good lawyer.
I've read some of his federal pleadings, and they're nothing like what he's done in this case.
It's so strange. I wonder if he's
I don't get it.
Well, maybe he's had like some life experiences recently that have put a lot of stress on him or something. I don't know. But this is really interesting. The Ninth Circuit panel blasts Maricopa County for violation of First Amendment. By the way, somebody go over to Tilted Lawyer's stream and tell him that I'll be there momentarily. I am going to wrap this up soon, but I do want to see this because I'm very interested in this. Aren't you in a position to say, hey, you don't understand the First Amendment here, you're wrong, and I'm not going to defend that position? Okay, let's just hear the video.
Did you share audio?
Wait, is that not shared? Oh, damn. Hold on. I forget. I have to go to my fake account in Chrome to access David's tweets because he blocked me so long ago. David, by the way, just unblock me. Like, I'm not going to troll you, but it bothers me that I have to go to my fake account all the time on a different browser in order to read your shit. Like, why don't you want me to read it? I don't really understand. It's not like I can't read it. I just have to go to a different browser. But then I have to share it as a window and it's a whole thing. So now I have to go back to the Edge. Here we go. Let's hear this.
It seems to me that, we live in a very polarized society, and we have human beings making these decisions. And it seems to me on some level, I'm just speaking for myself, that your client walked right into it because this individual, I don't know this individual, but he seems like he might not be entirely pleasant on all counts. But
I'm not entirely pleasant on all counts either. That's fair.
But, the First Amendment means that we have to hear things sometimes that we don't want to hear. And
I like her.
And it protects the unpopular speech. And what the truth is, that's what we expect.
This isn't David over here, is it? On the right?
I
Doesn't
can't
look
really
like
tell.
him.
I don't think so.
It doesn't look like him.
That debate to go on in the press about what the truth is. And it just seems like you've got county officials here not liking this person and what this person's saying. And, they fell right in the trap.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I think that takes the wrong inference from this very limited record.
Yeah, that's not him.
And that's because the county focused on the process of the news gathering, not the outcome in terms of making this determination. So
Yeah, the county should
That's
never
not their
do
job.
that, though. That is not
That's
their
not their job.
That is not their job. The county has no business deciding who is press and who is not. And it pisses the shit out of me. This happens all the time. And I will give Judge Mata all the credit in the world and her staff at the Maricopa County Court. They never gave me that bullshit. Ever. They never asked me, provide evidence that you're a journalist, do this, do that, where I've had other counties do stuff like that. And they will deny me access because they'll try to say that I don't have, I'm not a journalist. They did it to Larry. They did it to Larry Foreman in the Karen Reed trial. They said that that his YouTube channel doesn't count as media, which is so much bullshit.
Yeah, it does.
They wouldn't have been able to do it to me because I am connected to Salem Media that has an office in 500 radio stations and all these publications. They cannot do it to me anymore because Salem bought PJ Media. So they can't say that it's just web-based because it isn't. We have radio stations. We have, all kinds of different news media, television, radio, and then the web-based ones too. But YouTube is media. It is television for all intents and purposes. I don't even watch TV anymore. I watch YouTube. YouTube is where I get my live news.
Yep, exactly.
It is absurd. And the county, by the way, has no business, no government official has any business saying who is media and who is not. The only thing that I think that they can do and they should be able to do is limit the number of passes, but it should be first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Period.
Why is that relevant? Help me understand why that's relevant. The process of the news gathering, they're all using the same process. I mean, it's almost nonsensical what you're saying.
It is nonsensical.
They're not using the same process because in this case, there was a discussion about whether or not you were, as part of the news gathering process, contacting the officials for comment. Is one example that was used and brought up both by the plaintiff's expert and as well by the county. And
sending
there
press
was
inquiries?
I got to be honest.
So this is great. They didn't like his spicy press inquiry. So they decided to keep him out because they didn't like the way that he contacted them for comment. Holy shit. This is a great case. Gingras picked a good one. If this was his case, I don't see him on the screen.
But he may have he sued Maricopa County. And is this the Court of Appeals?
I'm actually not sure. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks
so
like
he may not be doing the appellate work, but he may be doing the underlying state case.
Yeah, maybe. It's a good case, though. This is one of those things. Gingras, pick better cases like this one.
What you just said seems like a blatant violation of the First Amendment.
Yep.
I mean, to discuss how they're doing their news gathering, I don't even understand that. First of all, I don't even see that in the standards.
He's laughing at
the standards. Don't talk about that. The standards talk about conflicts of interest. Have nothing to do with what you just said.
Oh.
Your Honor, from the county's perspective, the conflicts of interest and the associations play out in that process. In terms of
how? Explain that, counselor. How do they play out in that process? How? This is unbelievable. I love this.
This just goes to the point that you guys can't be trusted with the First Amendment. That's
Oh, I love it when the county gets his ass handed to him by a judge who knows what he's talking about.
And if this is like the Ninth Circuit, I'm floored.
This is fantastic. This is Pasadena, California.
Okay.
Courtroom 1, first floor. The Ninth Circuit. Okay. It is.
Yeah, Ninth Circuit. That's what I'm floored that the Ninth Circuit is.
Me too.
Got such good
Callahan?
cogent.
Oh, but you know what? This isn't the full Ninth Circuit, though, right?
So this is just a three. This is a 3-judge panel. So they got a good 3-judge panel.
They got a good 3-judge panel. I believe I've seen these same judges before, or at least this one in the middle during a CPS hearing in the same circuit. That was unbelievable. They handed the county their ass so hard. It was so great. It's the oh God. Sean would be able to. Her name is on the tip of my tongue right now, and I'm not going to remember it. But I'll have to play it one day on this channel. You guys, you will roar with laughter because they hand CPS their ass, and it's great.
Crazy. The position you just took is completely in violation of the First Amendment.
Your Honor, it's not in violation of the First Amendment because it isn't dependent upon the viewpoint that the speaker is taking. It wouldn't matter where on.
I mean, it can't be right that you get to dictate who they talk to, news. How they go about gathering the news. It can't be. That can't be. It can't be right.
She's just like, I've run out of words for how wrong this is. It can't be. It can't be. When you have an appellate, the Ninth Circuit, three judge panel saying this shit to you, you better take your ball and go home. You better, because you're in trouble.
Your Honor, the county was simply following, or perhaps from this panel's perspective, attempting to follow and failing to do so, what the Seventh Circuit laid out in terms of McIver and what the county was permitted to rely on as a reasonable government interest in journalistic integrity. The panel...
the government has...
Whoa, a reasonable government interest in journalistic integrity? Go fuck yourself. You have no business deciding what is journalistic integrity. Have you ever heard anything so terrible in all your life?
That's horseshit. If it's bad reporting, you can get there's things called defamation suits. If you're that bad at your news and you're lying or false reporting.
That was what Elena Kagan said, which I really thought they were going to vote the right way. That Supreme Court decision about the social media companies interfering in with the White House, Biden v. Missouri, or Missouri v. Biden, that one. And they didn't. They voted the wrong way. But I really thought they were going to vote the right way because even Kagan was like, you can just, I've had a lot of people write bad stuff about me. I can sue them for that. I can sue them. I can sue them for defamation, which is what should happen. Yeah. You don't get to use the power of the government to stop speech and journalists you don't like. This is why the Twitter files happened, but the Supreme Court ruled the wrong way. I hate to tell you, but Biden v. Missouri went the wrong way, and I'm shocked by it. I was shocked by that. I actually meant to go over that.
Well, it was a lack of, wasn't it a standing issue?
I don't know, because I never went over the final
ruling. I think that's what happened there.
I listened to the arguments, and I played them on this channel, and the arguments were, I was sure that the justices were starting to come into agreement on it. Like, this is bad. And yet, if it was just a standing issue, I'm so disheartened.
I think that's what they ended up saying, that the creators and the states lack standing.
Well, listen, one of these days, MG, we should go over that ruling together. I would love to read that.
Yeah, I'll have to read through it.
Because it really did bother me. And the arguments were so good. And the arguments against this bullshit were so great.
So it could be because it was government coercion of the social media companies. So really the social media companies would be the ones that would need to sue over that coercion and intimidation.
Mm-hmm. Hey, does anybody
And they're not going to, because they like doing the bidding of the administration.
Okay. Coming soon. Sorry, I know Omar's probably, is he live yet? Did he go live?
He's been in chat, but
I know. I just sent him a note. I'm going to get over there soon.
As it was discussed below that were on this group, it was discussed that not all have a journalistic background, but some do. And so they were interpreting it in that way. And that is the way that they attempted to apply.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? I don't understand it. To Judge Callahan's point, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but this argument is raising more red flags rather than resolving the red flags on how Maricopa County is applying these standards. Because everything you just said has nothing to do with conflict of interest. And if it does, it's a very contorted view of conflict of interest. And that goes exactly to the vagueness.
This dude is shitting his pants right now. Did you see that? He's like, fuck.
Position that's being taken here.
Oh, that's great.
That's
all right,
great.
so
We got to find that. I want to find the full hearing.
We got to play that whole thing. Oh my God, is that good? David Gingras, you know what? I thank you so much for bringing that to my attention because
maybe he'll come on and you can interview him about that case. I mean,
oh God, I'd love to. I would love to interview him about this. What a great case. And also, I'm quite shocked that he went to bat for somebody who writes for a dastardly right-wing website. No, this is not Gingras. This is in the appeals court. He must have handed it off to some other appellate guy. But that's weird because I thought that he was the appellate guy. I thought he loves his appellate work. So I don't know. We'll have to ask him. However, this is a totally different case than the Owens case. Yeah. This was actually a great case with lots of merit and importance. Boy, I wish he would stick to those cases. Because shit.
Well, and the ones that I looked at up on Pacers, I mean, I searched cases on Pacers. A lot of them were, copyright, trademark. They were good cases where either he was filing it or was defending it, and a lot of them would settle or he got them dismissed. Things like that, and there was nothing
Gingras,
really
you've gone off the rails with this new client of yours.
That's why I was shocked at the way his vitriol in this case has been.
Keep doing this. Do these cases. You know how many of these cases there are? Please do more of this because this is absolutely important. And by the way, am I mad at Rachel Mitchell for this? No, not really, because it probably wasn't even her. It was probably who knows? I would be surprised if it was because Rachel Mitchell is actually a conservative. So I can't see her being real hostile to conservative press unless he was onto something about her. I don't know. Maybe. I'd have to get into the underlying issues of this case to find out. But that doesn't mean just because he had to sue the county and Rachel Mitchell was in charge of it, that doesn't mean that she had anything to do with it. It also doesn't mean that she hasn't done a good job as the county attorney. It's not what it means. So I'm so glad we found that. We gotta go over that, MG. Hilarious. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I have to go. We are not going to get through all of his tweets today, obviously, because I promised Omar that I would be over there and we would talk about Trump. And so that's what I'm going to go and do. So if those of you, I'm going to redirect over to Omar's stream. I can't speak. I'm going to redirect. I'm going to read super chats and then we're all going to head over there. Okay. So MG, if you have to
I'm going to go grab some lunch.
All right, great. You go do that. And then I am going to see you over on the Tilted Lawyer.
Yep.
And MG, let's talk about going over that Ninth Circuit thing.
Yeah, I at least want to watch the hearing because that's entertaining right there. I want to see the whole thing.
Good. That was good. Yeah. And I'm going to find his. I want to find his initial filings on that. David, Gingras, if you're listening, please post those filings because I will read them and I will laugh hysterically at the county's idiocy with you. I will do that because that's a good case. You took a bad case here, dude. What?
I'm going to be watching the Chile de Castro. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his appeal hearing last week or so.
He won, didn't he?
He won. I'm going to watch. I didn't realize it. I'm going to watch that probably tomorrow night.
Yeah, unbelievable. I bet Law Talk with Mike has already done something on it.
I think he probably watched it when it happened. So.
Yeah, probably. All right, I'll see you later. Right. Let's get to these.
Thanks for having me on. All right.
No problem.
Bye.
Unhung Hero, thanks for the 2. Elo's platform, make Gingras file a motion again. Oh, that's funny. Jill M's, thanks for the 5. How does an attorney sleep? First, he lies on one side, and then on the other. He lies on one side, and then on the other. That's funny. Sarah Adams, thanks for the 2. 99 problems, and entitlement is part of it. A part of all. Jill M's, thanks for the 5. How do you get a group of lawyers to smile for a photo? Just say fees. This is good. Wendy A, thanks for the 2. This interview was fire. Yes, Reality Steve. Fantastic job, Reality Steve. Great job. Unhung Hero, thanks for the 2. Aren't burning smells a sign of a stroke? Burning toast, I think. Yeah. Lately, I've been smelling burning toast in the middle of the night. And it turns out that my daughter is getting hungry at like midnight, and she goes down and makes toast. And my stupid toaster keeps burning stuff. So I'm actually not having a stroke. There are actual people in the house making and burning toast. Wendy A, thanks for the 5. Look up malingering. I'm starting to think Laura has that. Possible. I remember Dr. Muffins talking about that. Jill M's, thanks for the 2. One time at band camp. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. Smells and dreams. I smelled I had a normal relationship with a man. Obviously a dream. Oh my God, I love you. Fair for all, thanks for the 5. I speak the name of Jesus over Megan and her family and home. Amen. Believe me, there's going to be some cleansing prayer going on in my bedroom tonight. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 2. Sparse. Is that like little to no? Samtastic, thanks for the 2. Thought you were talking about Dave Neal, honestly. Dave and I are good friends, and Dave's great. I love Dave, and he has every right to feel how he feels about hats or anything else. Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 2. Sorry for the astral projection last night. Listen, if you're going to do that again, could you take a shower? Because the cigarette smoke smell was the worst part. Daniel Wynn, thanks for the 5. Gingras Khan is the Monty Python Black Knight of lawyers. That's funny. Cindy Landis became a YouTube member. Well, welcome to the Fox Den. It's weird in here, but you'll get used to it. Don't worry. Flux, member for 4 months. Hashtag myhomo. On a side quest case. This case can't be this good with Dingus attached to it. Well, isn't it kind of a fun twist to find him being a good lawyer in another case? I kind of love that twist for this. And I'm totally going to get into that case. That is a great case. In fact, I bet I can get that journalist to talk to me because, we're both part of the same alt-right conspiracy, far right, whatever. Right? So I can probably get him on to talk about that. I would love to hear how that went from his perspective. Okay, guys, thank you so much for the supers. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here and for being friends with one another and for really embracing being friends, being neighbors, being neighborly, dialing it down. Thank you for that. I appreciate your support on Twitter. Don't forget, keep tagging Rachel Mitchell for Greg Gillespie to get some justice and for them to realize that Gingras is going to pull out all the stops to make this difficult for them and to intimidate them into dropping the charges that they should file. Charge her. Hashtag charge her. All right. What outro am I going to leave you with? I'm in a rap mood.
One skull busted baby. Round up the butt skull busted baby. Hey, hey, hey. You defame me or blame me for some crazy lady Spain game. I was minding my own business when that up you sold a tail to the papers in the world claiming she got rails. Sending pics and flicks and texts and shit. Thinking no one will question it. Walk the dog, you don't know me. All my friends are fucking homies. She couldn't sell me baloney, and now a lawyer thinks I'm fucking on me. Car bomb, bitch, game on me. Fake up in marathon. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Palms go, pussy, baby. Round up the palms go, pussy, baby. Hey, hey, hey. Your insults are war cries. Explaining leads to more lies. And slander on your shitty blog posts. Oh my god, you're so cringe, bro. Why you act like this is Jerry Springer?
Thank you, Cynthia, for the 5 memberships. Thank you.
On a pond, on his blog, no weirdness spawns. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Car bomb, bitch, you ain't on the fake, but we love it dog. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Saddle up, we ride it dog. Palms down, pussy, baby, round up the palms, go, pussy, baby. Hey, hey, hey. Do it songs for war crimes, playing leads some more lies. Slander on your shitty blog post. Oh my god, you're so cringe, bro. Why you act like this is Jerry Springer? I'm so hard, but some podcaster. You Seems half crazy, maybe dropped as a baby, or led pain, eating blasting bullshit. What a pawn on his blog, more weirdness spawns. Saddle up, we ride a dog. Hot stuff, plus he gearing up the storm, the backfield. Chopping keyboards, but still, ain't no way, no how, no expert can conceal. That motherfucker was never fucking real.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
Carbon bitch,